I know who it is.
I'm being gay, bro.
Can we
Save and mute them.
either
Found
ban them or
one.
fucking mute them? Because I'm not dealing with that.
Meeting. I'll find him.
Are we good to
Alright.
go? What are we doing?
My fault. I was just drinking something. Okay. We could start. Where are you posting scans at?
VCT scans?
Like, let me see. Where is it? Down?
Up.
Damn.
Two up. 2 channels up.
Okay.
Alright, so is there any rules that you want to have? Anything in particular?
Obviously we're doing stuff like standard battle assumptions.
Okay.
It's like, I'm pretty sure it's just a general assumption.
And we're using versus battle wiki or versus battle fandom, whatever you call it. Rules.
Yeah, some of the things though. I feel like some of the stuff on versus battle is like wrong, but I agree with like most of it. It's like a general thing. But yeah, we could start. So do you want to go over speed first?
Sure, let's do the speed.
Okay. How fast do you think Naruto is?
Do you want me to just start scaling him and then see if you have any issues?
Yeah, you can give a scale in line, or just like and then just give the speed tier as well. Like, do you think he's FTL, MFTL, what? Hello.
Yeah. So like, did you want me to go through and then like, if you just disagree or not, then I can just.
Okay, so go through your scaling chain and then also give the speed tier, so I know. So like, be like, okay, I'm like, you think they're MFTL or some bullshit, and then just give your scaling chain, like.
All right.
Why you clear your throat, nigga?
I can, because I just woke up, dude. What's wrong with you?
Okay.
Why are you so like
talk?
pressing
Then
me?
talk.
It's 6 a.m.
All right, so go at 6 a.m. Go.
All right. If you're so keen to go, then you go first and give me an exact speed.
Okay. Okay. So for Luffy, I'll get him higher during the debate. It depends on how high you get your character. But for now, I'll start off with MFTL. So I think he's multiple times faster than Light.
Black fucking nigger.
No, shut the fuck up, nigga, before I slap you.
White nigga, I swear to God.
Mute him, bro. I'd choke him out with a shoestring. Alright. Let me see. Let me go in this scan chat. So are you familiar with Burndy World in One Piece? Okay, so he can multiply his power, his speed, and stuff like that by 100. Gear second, if you scale it to the Doroki levels based off like CP9, you can argue like Rob Lucci's like 5 times stronger and faster than like the people like that are below him, and you could scale it to Bluno, who he like blitzes with gear second, so you can say it's a 5 times multiplier. With the way the light speed stuff comes in is when he dodges Kuma, which I have calced at 1.1 times faster than light, and I'll post a calc for that in scans. Here you go. Scan chat. There you go. 1.1 times faster than light. Yeah. There's Zoro dodging it. Obviously, Luffy should be faster than Zoro and stronger than Zoro. He's a vice captain. He's also said to be like weaker. The second strongest in the Viva card. So Luffy would just be at like 1.1 times faster than Light here. And then obviously later, with the Burndy World shit, the gear second multipliers, he should be like multiple times faster than Light. Like, I can still get him way higher than this. I'm just giving you a basic measurement.
So first of all, where does it state that this is actually a faster than Light attack? Second
Okay,
of all,
so
where did you get the multiplier for Burndy World?
Okay, here you go. So he has the more fruit, which stated to amplify people by 100. His devil fruit amplifies his power and speed. You're not from. You said you were familiar with that before.
Yeah, but not with the panels, because that's not what the. If anything, he would scale to whatever Luffy is because he has no other feats.
If he scales to Luffy while Luffy is using a weaker transformation or Luffy is in base, and then then he uses more fruit and he gets 100 times faster and stronger, and then Luffy gets stronger, then Luffy at that moment would have got 100 times faster.
No, because in multipliers it states that it has to be specific to what you're multiplying.
That's
So if it just
not
says
true. I'm
power,
glad. Okay, that's not true. I have the VSB
where
definition.
did you get that from?
Okay, I have the VSB definition for multipliers too. Since
Go
you
ahead,
agreed in
send me.
VSB, here you go.
Yep, because I also
Since
have
scans.
the same one.
Okay,
And it says it
multipliers.
has
Yeah,
to be
so
specific.
multipliers can be used under conditions. Okay, now watch this. Now read the conditions, idiot. A multiplier is generally some number, a different number is multiplied to get a new number. So this would be something as you're saying, like Luffy is stated to be light speed. Luffy then goes into
so
a
you skipped
transformation and
everything
gets it,
else.
which is why they accept MFTO Dragon Ball on VSB. No, I'm gonna read the rest. It says
skipped
for our
everything else.
VSB battles, we use more specifically refer to a number as a multiplier. They use numbers as multipliers and they accept it, which is why you have MFTL Dragon Ball. You have that on VSB. It's consistent. So do you have another argument, Happy? Do you have another one? Yes or no?
It actually took away. It actually took away. I'm answering. You still haven't answered my first question.
I answered your question, Happy. I literally answered what you wanted me to answer. Yes, I did.
Nope, you're dodging. What was my
I
question?
did answer your question. Your question was, you said that you don't think you can multiply like that. Then you said that there's certain conditions, and then I gave you the conditions which are on the VSB page that you agreed to do. You agreed to do it.
What are the conditions? What are the conditions?
The conditions, I will read it for you again, you illiterate fuck. It says a multiplier is generally some number, a different number is multiplied to get a new number. For our versus battle, we use specifically refer to a number as a multiplier. Do you speak English? You can translate, but you can't speak English. Happy. Respond.
All right. Are you ready to be one sentence from this? Are you ready?
Are you ready to be one sentence, bro? Put your hamburger down and give me your argument, nigga.
Show me what's underneath the regulations. Show me what's underneath the regulations.
Okay, here you go. I'll read it for you again. Okay.
No, not the same thing. What does it say under regulations for multipliers?
Okay, under regulations, go. You post it. It's your scan. I already posted my scan. You post it. Post your evidence. Since you're arguing for regulators, you post the regulator scan. I already gave it to you. I gave it to you already. So post it. That's not my job to fulfill your burden of proof.
Right, so this is directly underneath what you just read because you ignored it. Because you're an idiot.
Okay.
So if you go
Don't know
to
why you're
the
implying that I ignored
second
it.
statement, okay? More classical scenario is one where character's strength increases by some multiplier. Speed is untouched. One of the examples it gives is that you actually need to prove multiply speed as opposed to just power. If it just says power, then it's implied that it means specifically strength.
One second. Can you
multiply?
All right, 1 second, Happy. 1 second. Mute this nigga. Somebody mute Happy.
My points. You literally.
Okay, watch your mouth. First of all, don't raise your voice when you talk to me, bitch, nigga. Don't raise your voice. Don't raise your voice when you talk to me. Quiet down, little boy. Somebody mute Happy from spamming me.
Cut me off again, and you automatically concede, dude. That's not fair.
Why would I concede?
Why would I concede? Why would I concede? Why would I concede? Let me finish my point.
I'm asking you to let me finish my point. Hey, well, mute Happy keep in chat. Mute him. Because I'm getting spam notifications from anti-spam. So mute him first. Okay, now continue talking. I'm letting you speak. Go ahead.
And don't cut me off, dude. I let you share your massive point.
Stop stuttering.
Call me an idiot.
Talk. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Talk.
They cut me off again. All right.
I'm waiting for you to speak. The whole chat is waiting for you to speak, fat ass. Go.
Shut up, dude. Shut up.
Stop taking so long, then go.
Again, like I said before, unless if you're a multiplier, which you haven't even shared, by the way, you haven't proven this Burndy World's multiplier. It specifically stated.
You have already
increase
agreed
speed.
to it. You already agreed that you knew what it was. You already agreed
When
that it
did
was
I
100.
agree,
Being
dude?
a
I
rat.
said I'm
Stop being
aware
a
of
rat.
him.
You
I
already
never said
agreed.
I
You knew what the
agreed
devil
to the
fruit did. You
multiplier.
knew what the
Why
devil
would I
fruit did,
be?
and I
Why
also brought
would
up the
I
thing
be
100 times.
contesting the
You knew
multiplier
what
right
it did,
now
so
if I
don't you lie.
agreed?
So don't
I
lie. So
didn't
don't lie.
lie.
You knew what the multiplier
I
did,
didn't
and you
lie.
agreed on it. You fat ass dude.
Crush,
You fat ass nigga.
Crush,
I will fucking
Crush,
slap
you are
you in your mouth.
lying right
I will
now.
hit you with
The
a
only
brick.
reason why you're
Stop
getting
talking to me
angry
like
is
that.
because you
Stop.
know you're wrong, and I just debunked your whole
I'm
scaling.
mad at you, bitch. What the
Listen
fuck,
to
you
this
fucking
dude.
cockroach?
Listen to
You
this
mosquito
dude. He
looking
can't
bitch.
even
You
debate.
fat ass nigga.
This
Fuck
is
you talking about, nigga?
supposedly the
Obama,
best debater in
you
fiction,
a fat
and
ass
now
nigga
you're
talking, you lame ass
spurging.
nigga. Nobody fucking knows you, dumb bitch. Are you done? Are you done?
Oh
Dumb
man.
people laughing ass nigga.
Oh man.
Talk.
You're getting
Talk. Talk.
absolutely grilled right now. Getting
Talk.
absolutely grilled. My guy, just because you
Literally
can't.
talk.
I debunked one piece of
You
your
already
scaling,
agreed
and now
to
you're
being
already
100
getting
times
angry because you
You already
can't
agreed
prove
to
your
being
point. You
100
know
times
you've lost.
multiplier.
You've already
So
lost
continue.
here. You've
So
already
continue.
lost. You've
Why did
already
I lose?
conceded.
Why did I lose? Are you gonna meme out or are you gonna tell me why I lost? Why did I lose, Happy? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, your scan that you sent about light speed, it never states that it was a light speed attack. You wrote the
You
fucking
never
words.
okay, you
Red,
realize
in
the
red,
question
light
that
speed. I already
you know
contested that. You never
you
proved that.
asked me.
Then
You
you
know the question
said it's 100
you
times multiplier for speed.
stop
You
being
never
retarded. Stop
proved
being
that. You
retarded.
don't even
Stop
have a
being
Burndy
retarded.
World
Stop
scan
being
that says
retarded.
it's
You
100
fucking
times multiplier for
you
speed.
fucking
These are all
answer my
assumptions.
question.
Based on the
Stop
assumptions you've
being
had, you've
retarded.
proven no speed.
Answer me, fat ass nigga. I slap you with a fucking top cheese. Answer me, bitch.
I already did.
I'm asking you the first question that you stated. You asked me to prove that you can use this as a multiplier. You already agreed to the more fruit being 100 times. You said you knew what it was. This scan that you asked me to prove, you posted it underneath, but you agreed to it previously, and it's on recording. So don't fucking lie. So don't lie. You fucking Superman
Never
built.
agreed to it. Why would I be contesting it if I agreed to it,
You
dude?
not lie. You fat ass nigga. You look like Luffy, nigga. You hella goofy. You stupid
Hey,
as a bitch. You
Renji,
drink
as a
smoothies.
judge,
You fat
can
ass
we
nigga.
confirm,
Renji,
Renji, as
you
a
like
judge,
Ricky
can we
Bobby. You
confirm
ugly
that I
ass
didn't
nigga.
agree?
You fat.
Can we
You
just
like a
confirm
movie
that I
clip,
didn't
bitch.
agree?
You ugly ass nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Camera action. You
Kill the
fat ass
situation.
nigga.
I'm not
Talk
gonna
to me.
anymore.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me, Happy. Are you gonna answer my question and
I'm gonna
return
let
to
the
the
judge
debate? Yes.
decide. I'm gonna let the judge decide. That's what's fair. Did I agree?
Okay. Let the judge decide. Go ahead, Renji. Talk.
Nah, wait. What did y'all want me to ask? I mean,
I
what did
just
y'all
wanted
ask?
It
to
was
know.
basically in the beginning of the debate. In the beginning of the debate, when I was discussing the more fruit and how it and like how the devil fruit multiplies itself by 100, did he not say that he knew what I was referring to?
He said something along the. I think he said he agrees to like gear 2 being like 5 times FTL. Did you agree to that,
No,
Hapi? No,
it's like it's when I was talking about all the
no,
multipliers. I
not
brought up the
FTL.
gear two,
Sorry,
and I brought up the Doroki levels, and I brought up more. I brought up all that stuff, and he said he knew what it was.
He said I knew. Okay, he said I know what it is, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he was referring to. I think he was referring to the gear 2 multiplier.
Okay, so
I
even
was referring
even
to,
okay,
if you want me to
so
clarify,
obviously the claim that he's referring to, he's uncertain, right? But what he's saying is at that part when I was explaining the multipliers, the Burndy world, the more fruit, and all this stuff, that is when he said that he heard you agree to the gear second multiplier. So if he's saying that he heard that part and he heard you green around that time, then it is fair to assume that you agreed to the other stuff because you never showed a distinction. You never gave me an example or a contention with what I was saying. You were just agreeing that you knew what it was.
I said 2 points. I gave 2 points of contention. First one I stated was that the Zara scan you sent, you never actually proved that it was a light speed attack. The second thing I said was that the multipliers don't work like that. But I additionally added that one of the things that you was scaling off, Burndy World, he would scale to whatever Luffy was. And that's when we decided to talk about the multipliers.
So why in this does it sound like you're coming off disingenuous? Because the first thing that I started off was I said that Luffy is faster than Zoro. Zoro's portrayed to be the vice captain and the second strongest of the Straw Hats. That's what I said. So if I'm going off of this notion, we know that Luffy is above Zoro. Then I was scaling this with the scan that I posted. I said it's 1.1 times faster than light. You never said this, and I can scroll down the chat. Everybody's saying he's being disingenuous. The judge isn't remembering. That's everybody's saying. Nobody's basically saying what you said. You're literally just making bullshit up. You're making it up. There's no reason for me to post a calc of somebody being FTL. If you want me to show you why it's an FTL feat, I can give it to you. I can give you the scan that says it's light speed. That's the only contention that you brought up, and that's after. That is after. Here's the scan.
That was the first contention I brought up, dude.
No, the first contention was the multiplier.
My first point is that you never showed or proved that it was a light speed. You wrote the red words, light speed, on top of it. My second point was not the multiplier.
That's not what your contention was. That's not what your contention
was not the multiplier.
This isn't a relevant. Okay, we can argue about this point. We can argue about this point. We can argue. That's what I'm saying. We can argue for this about 20 minutes. Just move on from the point. I'll post a scan. It's stupid. It's stupid for you to argue about this. It's dumb. You're gonna argue with me 20 minutes about what you said. It's on recording. There's the scan. There's the scan for you. It says that he reflected
a light speed attack. There you go. It's not a light speed attack.
It says that he reflects it at light speed. Read the scan. This is called the pad cannon. Air is repelled at light speed, creating a shock wave that penetrates anything.
So the repel is light speed. So what is the speed of the attack then?
Okay, he's shooting the attack at Zoro, and Zoro is dodging it in the calc that I provided above.
Show me where it says that attack is light speed.
Okay. This is called the pad cannon. He's referring to the name of the attack, right? And just the attack in general, right? Air is repelled, so he's repelling the air at light speed, which makes the shock wave that fires at Zoro. Because the shockwave is after, because that's why it destroys the buildings and it destroys things afterwards. And you can see the shockwave, you can see the paw print. So it's afterwards. So he's reflecting the air at light speed and Zoro is dodging it. The calc comes in because Zoro is not dodging it or aim dodging it. He's dodging it as it reaches near his face. So Zoro is actually dodging it and it's calced at 1.1 times faster than light. Refute what I said.
So, first of all, because the air is being repelled at light speed does not make it a light speed attack. There's conditions for being light speed.
Prove it. Hey, prove it. Prove that the air has a drop off. Prove that light speed has a drop off, and prove how much the drop off would be. That's your assertion. That's your burner proof. I provided you with the calc.
No, my assertion was this: that it's not a light attack, right?
No, you're giving an
attack. It has to be shown to have light speed.
You're giving an argument from skepticism. I already showed you that it's reflected at the air is reflected at light.
That's not an argument from skepticism.
Okay, let me explain to you why it is. Okay, are you going to keep talking over me, or are you going to let me explain to why it is? I said that it's reflecting the air at light speed. You're saying that...
I never finished my point. You talked over me.
You're going to let me respond? Because I think that you're being disingenuous, so I'm not going to continue letting you talk on a random point.
You keep trying to move on, and you haven't actually let me share any of my points. This is the second time you've cut me off when I'm talking.
Are you going to let me respond to what you said? Are you going to let me respond to what you said? Okay, thank you.
What was my point? I haven't finished what I'm saying. I haven't finished what I'm saying.
Go ahead and talk. Eat your Big Mac. Talk.
Are you done?
Bro, we're waiting for you, nigga. Go.
No, I'm waiting for you because you keep cutting me off, dude. Every
time
I
just
speak,
talk. That's why I'm gonna talk. I'm letting you talk.
You keep bringing up different foods because you can't afford any. I don't care about what you can't eat.
You make TikTok checks. Shut up. Your point is
not get paid anything from my TikTok.
You don't get paid. So you talk about Naruto. You talk a grown man wears a Katsuki outfit that talks about saying that.
Do you want me to show you? I usually don't get paid anything from my TikTok.
Just go, bro. Just talk. You're getting me mad from just saying stupid shit.
Wait, yeah. I don't have mod or anything. I can't do shit, so can y'all just chill down? To the point, please. So, down.
Alright, so yeah, somebody muted both of us, but anyways, if we're going to the standards for a light attack or laser attack, there has to be specific criteria, and it does not meet any of those criteria to prove that it's a light speed attack.
Why does it not? And why are you trying to make it appeal to reality and assume that the certain criteria that we have in to be the same amount in the criteria that we have in One Piece? We know One Piece that light can be it can have mass to it. We know that it can produce shockwaves according to Kuma. We know that other things in One Piece or other elements have different properties to them. So you making an assumption and trying to say that light has to have these specific functionalities or properties just isn't true. Because obviously we know that in this scan it's referring to it creating a shockwave, and we know that it can be mass. So go ahead and give me a direct connotation that shows that just shows what you're arguing in general. Because you're just saying that it doesn't have laser properties or doesn't have these things. And I can give you like the PX scan as well from them shooting like light beams, like those have mass to them as well. Like,
so if you go to the definition of light or laser, it literally states that lasers or light is the fastest type of attack within in the known universe. So if we're talking about light attacks or lasers, these are the fastest. So if it's a light beam or a laser, then if it's stated to be so, then it can be one of these light speed or fast attacks. Some of the criteria for that, there's 5 different criteria. Am I hearing doubles?
it sounds like you're turning into a robot or some shit. Hello?
And this is part of the criteria for it being light. And like I said before, these criteria have you met with this particular attack?
Okay, so it says light or laser dodging is fairly common trope seen in fiction and often a central debate regarding character speeds, given that light is the fastest in the real universe. Yes, it's referring to the real universe, how light functions. This is determining what is considered a real light beam, and what to do once the feat has achieved that status. Then it talks about the beam refracts into a new material. Lasers are only accepted if they meet. Yeah, it refracts. That's literally my scan. So why are you just posted something that just like proves and extrapolates on what I was arguing already? It says in your scan the beam refracts.
The beam itself
okay.
Is light speed.
Okay, so it says So on your specifications, it says the beam refracts in a new material such as a liquid, or it continues the beam reflects off a material that it can be expected to, such as a non-magical mirror. The beam is light speed by reliable sources, and it gives multiple criteria for it being light speed. Now on the Kuma scan that I posted, it says this is a pad cannon. It is repelled. Do you know what it's being repelled off of? It's being repelled off of his hands. He uses his hands as a medium to do so. So if he's using his hands as a medium to reflect this off of, and it says on your scan the beam reflects off of material that is expected to, right? Or it says that it just reflects off of material in general, you can say that the hand would be equivocated to that material. So you can make the assumption that yes, it is a light speed attack, which is why in the calc it actually calculates drop-offs, which is why it's a low-end calc.
No. And it's you literally ignore it. It says it has to be stated to be made of photons or light itself, again, by a reliable source. So it has to be either from the attacker themselves to state that it is light. Like, that's why I said, where have you shown or demonstrated that this is proven to be made of photons or light? It's not. It's a pad cannon. You said it yourself. You even agree that it was a pad cannon. That is not light.
Okay, so why
light? It's
so
not light.
Assuming,
Attack. How can an attack be light speed
if
it's not light?
Stop me loud before I start packing. You just got mad when I did it, so stop doing it. If I violate you, stop doing it. Quiet down.
I was still talking.
I'm being formal, so be formal. Be formal. So be formal. Anyways, back to this argument.
You've been
right?
really disrespectful from the get-go, and everybody knows that.
Are you gonna let me talk? Everybody just witnessed me being respectful and formal when I was not getting loud until you raised your voice. So quiet down, and my voice will go down as well. Okay, like I said to you, Happy, why are you making it pure reality and asserting that other things, One Piece, or just other things in the verse cannot themselves go to light speed? Why can't sound be as fast as light? Or why can't just I don't know, like hypersonic in One Piece just be light speed? You're making it a pure reality. That's a fallacy, Happy.
Then speed could be subjective to whatever you want it to be, like what you're trying to do. You're trying to say,
it's
light
not,
speed, when it really isn't.
I want it to be. It's whatever Oda is representing in his story and whatever Oda is trying to represent. And we know that Oda uses different terms that still equate to light speed.
Show me a statement from Oda saying that he thinks that this particular attack is light speed.
So, the pad cannon is light speed. I don't have to show you. I can show you how it's portrayed. I can show you how it's portrayed. Okay, it's portrayed because light has mass. You're familiar with the PXs shooting light beams that have mass, right?
Wait, so you're dropping this point?
Never said I was dropping that point. I don't know why you just tried to claim that.
You're bringing up a new point. That sounds like you're dodging.
This is the
Bringing
same.
up the PX.
This is the same
pacifistas.
argument. This is the same argument. Let me show you why it is. My argument is showing to you that items or things in One Piece can still be light speed. No, we're not. Why are you being dishonest? What the fuck? You're literally being a rat. Like you're literally ratting.
Well, you're dodging the point.
This is the same point. Happy,
No,
what I'm trying to say to you
is a different attack.
Listen. What I'm saying to you is that attacks in One Piece or certain elements in One Piece can be light speed. They do not have to be stated to be light speed. They can just be light speed by nature. It can be. Because I gave you an example such as light being mass. In the real world, light is massless. It does not have mass.
Using your logic, an attack that isn't light speed, I can just say it's light speed in Naruto, and therefore it's light speed.
No, it is not.
Attack that Naruto dodges is becomes like 100 times multiplier because I feel like it.
Okay, so let me give you
logic.
You're straw man in me. You're straw man in me because
I used your exact words.
Let me explain to you why you're straw man in me. Stop talking over me like a spur. You get mad when I do it. Okay, like I was saying to you, you're misrepresenting my argument and straw manning. Oh my gosh, you're misrepresenting my argument and straw manning because what I'm saying to you is that in One Piece, we know that certain elements and certain speeds, as well as gravity, the planet size, I can bring this up as well, that they function differently so they can equate to being light speed. You're trying to make a false equivalence. Okay, so light has mass. I stated this 5 times. In One Piece, light can have mass. This is the 5th time I said it. You still haven't countered what I said.
You haven't counted what I said. You ignored it and moved on.
Okay, you made a false equivalence and said, okay, you can just make up anything then and say in Naruto they're this fast. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying that in One Piece...
That's exactly what you're doing.
No, it's not. One Piece functions differently than Naruto. I gave you an example of light having mass with the PX beams. You still haven't countered it.
You never proved it. You haven't stated anything. Look at the...
Hey, do you want me to show you a scan of light having mass? Do you want a scan of light having mass in One Piece? Or do you know that the PX beams have mass? Yes or no?
So you're talking about the Kizaru statement where he says that light equals mass. Is that what you're talking about? Or light is weight? Or something
I just said PX. When did I bring up Kizaru? Did anybody hear me bring that shit up?
Because I'm not aware of this panel that you're talking about then.
Okay, I'll post a scan of PX beams having mass to them. Jesus Christ. Hold up. Here you go. PX5. PX. PS5. Okay, here you go. So here's the PX beams in One Piece. They explode and prove that they have mass and they have an impact as well. You could also use the Kizaru example, but I didn't bring that up for the initial argument that I was using. I could bring it up later, but I didn't use that. What I was using was the PX statement. So here you go with the PX beams. It basically, just talking about how it's the same thing that Kizaru does. They say that verbatim that he has Kizaru's lasers. It's like that's what they refer to it as. And then we said these attacks in One Piece have mass because we know that it has an impact on the tree behind Luffy. I just gave you an example to how light can function differently in One Piece, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's slower than light actually is. It just that means in this fictional verse that can be the case, so you're making it appeal to reality, which is fallacious. Why do you take 30 seconds to respond? Is he dead or something?
I'm reading your scan, but it doesn't say anything that you said.
Okay, I just gave you an example. I gave you the context for the scene of the light exploding on the tree. Do you want the scan of it being stated to be Kizaru's lasers? Do you want that too? For somebody who says you read what, you need a lot of this.
Yeah, well, someone who reads One Piece, you're not actually adding up anything that you are stating. Where does it say exactly what you said in the panel you sent?
Okay, that's not what I was doing. I was describing the panel. So I never said that it said those things verbatim. Okay, I know it wasn't because I described to you that it has mass in the panel. I showed it to you in the panel where it has mass. I said that it has an impact of the tree and it explodes on the tree, and I described the scene to you.
That's totally irrelevant to what I stated before.
Okay, it is relevant because you were trying to make an appeal to reality and argue that certain things in One Piece, such as an attack, right, that is reflected air can't be light speed because it does not function as if light speed does in the real world. And I said that's an appeal to
So
reality.
it's not an appeal to reality. I'm
because
using the power scaling rules
Okay.
of defining what a light speed
Okay,
attack is or not.
So watch this.
So
So watch
based
this.
on the
Here you go.
rules you
I'm gonna
stat,
give you the
based on the
definition
rules
of
you
appeal to
stated.
reality.
No. Using the power scaling definition of what light is or not. That's not an appeal to reality. You agreed to the versus battle wiki fandom
Okay,
rules.
cool. You can say
If you
that's not
agreed
an
to
appeal to
it,
reality.
I'm
Look
not
at the scan
appealing to reality.
Look at the scan shot. Look at the scan shot. And actually, at the beginning of the debate, I said certain things in VSB I disagree with because they're interpreted to be wrong. Like that's what
So
I was referring to. I said that at the
based
beginning
on
of the
what
debate.
suits
I
your
said at the
narrative,
beginning of the debate.
you're gonna change the rules.
That's not what I did. Okay, Renji, you can unmute. At the beginning of the debate, did I not say that I'm okay with using SBA and VSB, but at the same time, some things at VSB are wrong? And I said that generally, though, the things on VSB tend to be correct, but there's some examples when they're not.
Well,
Did
I'm
I not
lagging
say
as
that?
fuck.
You are lagging. I think it's the VC side.
Yeah, I still said some things in the some things in the VSB are like retarded. That's what he said.
I was referring.
Recording, so.
But he can't prove that it is. Like, this is a pretty clear statement.
I
That if
did.
it's light,
I just gave
then
you an
it is
example of an
light.
appeal to reality.
If it's not light, it can't be light.
Why would I post a link? I post a link in fucking the scans chat and it deletes it every time I post it. I don't know why. But let me see. Try to post it again. It's like deleting me when I post that shit.
Oh, do it in VC scans, bro. I set it up in VC scans.
He said to VC scans, not scans.
Oh, okay, let me see. It's still deleting
it. Doesn't work in there either, dude.
Why? Hold up.
I don't know.
It might be the bot, the security bot.
No, it should work. Just send them to me and I'll send them.
Wait, where are we sending them?
Does it work now? Let me try it.
Probably Wickball or
You see scans. It's still deleting there every time I post it. Do you want me to just read to you an appeal to reality? Those links. Like, you can look it up on Google as well yourself. I can read it to you. It would progress the debate way faster too. Did you hear me, Happy?
No, because I still stand with my stance that unless if it's light or photons, then it can't be a light attack.
Okay, you can stand.
Also,
you can.
You never addressed my point where the attack itself is light, like as light speed. You've only stated that it's being repelled because, and you said something about a drop off, but it would be burden of proof on you to prove that there is no drop off, or there is.
Okay. So there's two things I respond to. The first, the pure to reality thing. Yeah, making a false equivalent. Give you examples to how things can function differently in the One Piece world, and then you're trying to like falsify that by comparing it to things like Naruto. The second example, with you gave with the refraction thing, I already said that it says that it's reflected at airspeed, and then I said that the shockwave is caused after. So for me saying that it's reflected, right, and I'm saying that it caused a reflection bare minimum, right? Or if we use Kizaru as an example, like Kizaru's Yada mirror, or just Kizaru's attacks. When you're able to reflect off of like a flat surface, like a ray of light, here's the. Let me give you the scan. Slide. Here you go.
Sent.
Okay. So light does not have to get slower upon reflecting upon a surface. I just posted this in VC scans. Here's an example of how mirrors work, and then it talks about like the incident light, the angle of incidence, and talks about the angle of reflection and reflected light and how they diffuse or reflect upon a reflecting surface. So if we go off of this basis, then light can actually reflect off of a flat surface and technically retain the same speed relatively. So light can actually reflect off of something and still retain the same speed, or like I said, relatively to it. Which is why the calc is used as a low end.
No, but how does light reflecting off walls have any relevance to the pad cannon?
Because earlier during the thing that I said that the sense that we know that the pad cannon, it says that he reflects the air and it's bouncing off his hand as like a medium for reflection. So if you're trying to say that like let's say you're like, well, a mirror functions differently than like a table, or like a mirror functions differently than a wall or whatever, none of this is really needed, because the reflection that he uses with the pad cannon, he's still reflecting it. And if anything, you cannot prove the quantification or how much slower the light would reflect off of the surface unless you can prove that. Because if anything, I can just say that it would be...
I don't think you understand.
Are you going to cut me off? I said, if anything, I can imply that it would be relative to the flat surface, which is why my calc is a low end. My calc is actually a low end speed calc. So I make assumptions and I make a basis that allows those things to fit in as well. That's what a calc is.
All right, so I know that you're assuming things because it's not factually correct. And based on the facts, right, we're talking about a pad cannon, which is not a light speed attack, because all you've established is that it's repelled at light speed. But the thing is you still haven't proven how the pad cannons themselves, how the actual attack reflects off other things. It has not been shown to do so. So it's not got the properties of light. A second standard to prove that it's light is that it actually is made of light or photons. You haven't proven that either from a statement.
I already think I counter this argument.
It actually, your own panel, just the last point, your own panel says that it's air repelled. That doesn't fit the criteria of being light.
I've already answered the pure to reality thing that you're already doing. And then for like the last thing to prove this, I'll give you this scan. It's like obviously the Foxy stuff with the neurobeams, but it's basically just like how he shoots like photon.
You're dodging the point.
I don't. I already think I
dodge the point again.
The judges. We can leave it to the judges. I'm not going to argue on ad nauseum about one point. I already think I refuted your argument. We leave it up to Renji. That's fine. But that's the photon scan I referred to about Foxy shooting photons as well, which is one of your requirements. There you go. They're just like two examples of like supplementary evidence. So it would still fit. It would still fit.
Point you brought up. You also brought up the point of the pacifistas or the PX shooting a laser.
Yeah.
So this is also not an example of a light speed attack because it was stated to be a fake Kizaru. So I'm going to share that just so you know that it's not the same, because you said that you read One Piece and you're aware of everything in One Piece. Yeah. But he's stated that it's already not the same as Kizaru. It's stated to be far weaker.
Post it.
Putting this into scans. I can zoom in for you if you can't read it because it might be too small.
Let me see. Even if let me see how they're different. Maybe they're twins or something. Anyway, the real one will warp attacks. Besides, he's not shooting shockwaves, and he doesn't have pause either. But even if he's fake, it's a new problem. I don't know why you just try to rat. That's not what they're referring to when they say aren't they? That you clearly don't. So 1 second. So let me explain why. Okay, you clearly don't read One Piece. It says. He says that's possible. Anyway, the real one can warp and will dodge attacks more often. Besides, he's not shooting shockwaves and he doesn't have pause. He's referring that this PX is not Kuma. I don't know why you just tried to rat and you just tried to say that this is referring to the PX thing with
you tried laser. To say
this is him saying that he's not Kuma.
To say that
this is all they're saying.
You tried to say that these pacifistas on that light speed level because they shot a light beam. However, they're saying that it's a fake. The real Kuma who's shooting the pad cannons is actually faster.
Can you prove this pacifista? Can you prove this pacifista shot a light beam?
Because you said so. You said that they in the back before. You're the one who stated that.
I wasn't referring to this. I said PX5. PX5 is the one that shoots a beam at Luffy and he dodges it and it hits the tree and causes a mass explosion. This is not the PX I was referring to. And I already gave you an example to why they're referring to this being Kuma.
This is the same PX.
It's the same? So you're making an assertion. Prove it's the same PX from the one that's
It's in the same chapter.
Okay, so prove that this is the same. Okay, so prove this is the same one that shot Luffy after time skip 2 years later. Prove it.
So you know that there's several. What?
Okay, prove this is the same PX that shot Luffy after time skip 2 years later.
So these two panels, right? These two panels
are you avoiding my
are
question?
side by
Prove
side.
it's the same PX.
No, I did. I just. Okay, listen.
Okay,
These
so look,
two-
the panel. That's not the same thing. This is pre-time skip. You're posting pre-time skip Luffy. I just said post-time skip Luffy. He dodges the light beams and it has mass and hits the tree.
Oh, so you're talking about
the wrong thing.
Time skip.
Yes, you don't listen. Open your ears, fat ass. Open your ears. God damn, you're stupid as hell. This nigga's dumb
Imagine
as fuck.
opening your ears with your ass. That makes sense.
Hey, you fucking open your ears with your ass.
Brilliant false
Hey, move
equivocation
on.
pose.
You're getting slapped. Okay, just continue.
I'm
bro.
getting slapped. My guy, you still haven't even proved the air cannon is not air. Instead, the fact that it's light. Imagine thinking air is light. Do you breathe light? Is that what you do? Are you breathing light? Is that how you breathe?
Not funny. You're not funny. Listen, nobody laughs at you.
I'm supposed to breathe with no light. Does that make sense to you?
Are you done?
You done? Because everything you said is a massive assumptions. You're building assumptions on top of assumptions with no facts.
I'm fine with moving on. Cool. If you think that you won the point, let's move on and leave it.
All right, so you already established because you haven't cut me off. I haven't rebutted any of what I said. So I'm going to establish what I said. We know that Luffy stated. Okay, I'm going to keep saying my point. I'm going to state my point.
Okay, so move on.
To state my point for the fourth time now. Why do you keep cutting me off? Why are you scared? Why are you scared for me to rebut your points, dude? Why don't you want me to debunk your points? Why don't you want me to debunk your points? Are you sad that you're going to debunk your favorite character? Is that what's going on? Look how angry this dude is. Look how angry he is. Imagine being so angry over a fictional debate. Imagine being so angry. Imagine being this angry over a fictional debate. Look at this guy. Alright, everybody, this is the best debater in fiction on Discord. Apparently, this is the best debater. Apparently, this is the best debater on fiction.
Move on.
This is the standard for the best debater in fiction.
You're getting violated.
If you want to be a good debater, all you have to do is spur every time you get debunked. So that the other person can't share their points.
You get dragged like the little bitch that you are. So continue. Move on from the point and let Renji judge it. Move on from the point and let Renji judge it. You pussy bitch.
Move on because I'm losing is what you keep saying.
Move on. If you think that I lost, move on. If you think I lost, move on.
If you
think, or Renji just progressed
the debate because if you think that you won, then you should let me rebut your points.
Okay, why do you need to refute my points if you countered it already according to you?
Because I haven't even said anything.
Because you didn't counter it, dumbass.
No, you just keep crying.
You keep crying.
The whole debate is about 60% of you talking about the things that you will never have or want to have.
You keep rolling over every day. You gotta make grit under your stomach.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We don't even have Twizzlers in Australia, dude.
Continue, Australian kangaroo boxing bitch. Continue.
Oh, hilarious! You're so funny, dude. No one cares. All right. Okay. So, as I stated before, you already agreed by ignoring my points that the Kizaru is the Kizaru pacifist is what they're based off is his laser. That these aren't the exact same as Kizaru. They're fake, right? Secondly, even Luffy himself stated that this isn't Kuma. Kuma's faster. And if Kuma, who is using air attacks, isn't light, is faster, this means that these lasers are slower than air. Being repelled. Just because they're being repelled at light speed doesn't mean they are light speed. You have to prove that. You still haven't.
Okay. I already counted this point by saying that point. PX, and you never proved that it was, but let's move on. You got slapped. Alright, so you want to go over AP now? Luffy bypasses durability.
We're still going on to your speed scale.
Okay, argue how fast your character is, and go ahead. I just gave you an example to why they're like hundreds of times I said I can get them faster. Continue. How fast is Naruto?
Alright, so I'm going to state how fast Luffy is Based on what you've established, he's only lightning speed, and I'll explain exactly
Okay,
why.
there's no need for you to go off of this. Just go off of Naruto. This you want to stall the debate so bad. Like, come on, I don't want an hour-long
Yeah,
debate,
okay,
nigga.
okay. I will finish this right now. Just shut up and let me finish.
Okay, you big bitch. Go ahead.
So, have you read the latest chapters in One Piece? Are you aware of
Yes,
what's been
nigga.
happening? Who did Luffy just get rolled by?
Luffy just get rolled by?
Yes. Who did
He's
he
walking
just
up.
keep losing to?
He's about to go up to the. Okay, he's about to go up to the floor with Kaido.
Yeah. And what happened last time he fought Kaido? Are you aware of that?
He got smacked. He got stronger as well.
Got one-shotted by. Do you know what the name of the attack was?
Which one are you talking about? The Thunder Booga or like the Yeah, you're talking. Which one are you referring to?
So, are you aware of the speed of this attack? Yeah, this Thunder Bugwa. And you can see Luffy was literally one-shotted by a lightning speed attack. And that's highballing Thunder, because we know that Thunder is actually just a sound. It's not the speed of lightning.
Why do you think that the Thunder Booga is lightning speed?
Because let's go with a highball, and let's say it is lightning and not thunder. He even states elsewhere that other people say, look, his roars are lightning. So if anything, know that Luffy in the latest chapters, he's been getting rolled by lightning attacks. Do you know what the speed of lightning is?
Why does the roar equate to the attack? I'm waiting for you to provide the equivalence. Stop falsifying.
He's already using roars for his
so
attacks.
Goku goes roar, then Goku's roar is just as fast as Kamehameha. Is that what you're saying? Goku goes ha, and his roar is as fast as Kamehameha. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
The fifth time you're cutting off my point. Stop cutting me off. That's a straw man. If you cut me off mid-point when I haven't finished explaining, you're straw manning my points by changing what I'm saying. No, let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Or are you afraid? Are you scared? Are you scared? Are you scared? Is that why you don't want me to talk? Are you scared? Are you scared? Are you scared? Is that why you don't want me to talk? Are you scared? Thank you.
Yo, both of you chill out. Or this debate would just be like dragged on for way too long. We don't need this. I'm just that way. I'm just way too laggy.
I'll do it.
Nigga has to mute me. That's crazy.
I got muted too. Dude.
It was Renji. Who did
Renji did it. Okay.
Yeah, you guys gotta calm down. Let's not spread vicious debate.
Right, so using your own logic, you said before that light functions differently in One Piece. It can be whatever you want it to be. So in this case, prove that thunder doesn't mean that it's not thunder. How do you know that it's not thunder speed? If we're going to use your sweet logic that air can be light speed, right? Well, then prove that thunder is not thunder then.
I can say
that lightning is not lightning then.
Okay, are you gonna keep talking? Now you're gonna be disingenuous. Okay, so I already said that piece like elements can also easily be light speed. I also told you to stop falsifying the roar with the attack, and I said, can you prove that the roar that Kaido does is equivalent to the speed of his attack on any basis? Because all you're doing is you're just throwing out straw mans and you're misrepresenting what I'm saying, and you're attempting to counteract my arguments, but everything that you're making is a fallacious claim. Not making anything that has any standard or any basis to it. You're just throwing out arguments and you're trying to say things that I've already countered 7 minutes prior to this. So go ahead and counter something because you have no argument. You're trying to falsify saying things like, oh, Kaido's roar is stated to be like thunder or lightning, even if I highball it. And or like even that doesn't mean anything because I've already told you that
in miles per hour, how fast do you think lightning is?
I've already countered this point.
Give me a speed.
How
fast do you think lightning is? Miles per hour.
Okay, Renji, as the judge, can you just tell him that if he feels like he's argued this point to just move on? Because I'm not going to stay here for 2 hours in VC debating a nigga named Hapi 117. Like, I'm not going to debate you, bro. Like, we can continue to move on. We're not going to debate this point. It's dumb. It's stupid.
All right, so I guess it's being the speed of light.
I never agreed. That's disingenuous. Continue. Take the Big Mac out your pocket and a fucking Happy Meal, the 4-piece McNugget with the sweet and sour barbecue hickory bacon that you got, you fat ass nigga. I'll continue. Okay, so do you want to go on Naruto?
What else do we have that we can go off? So now that we've established that Luffy is literally massively hypersonic, I'm just going to post a couple scans prove that Naruto is massively faster than light. So the first one I'll go with, let's go with this one. This is a long calc, but I guess you can enjoy the read.
Let me see. I swear to God, if it's the Nairobi calc, I swear to fucking God, bro.
Here's
Where
Nairobi.
is it? Where are you posting that?
Takes a couple of seconds because there's a lot of.
You have slow data, you got 3G?
Nope, it's just a long calc.
Just say you got 3G, bro. It's okay. You might want to close the Cool Math Games tab. You have open on the right. Stop playing Run 2 in Papa's Pizzeria.
Oh, there you go. You can just read the text, but basically it puts them.
Nigga, you
high
gonna
end.
send me a PDF file, or you gonna try to hack me? Shit, bro. What am I clicking on? Hold up, bro. Let me click it, bro.
Everyone knows you kind of deserve it, but
I can screenshot and just like send it.
Screenshot this. Okay.
No,
Oh, wait, what
Hapi
the
just
fuck
got
is
my
this?
details, bro.
Okay, so I got it. I already know the debunk to it. This is the Naya calc. Okay, so it's a polar particle shit. It's retarded, right? There's like a multitude of things that are wrong with this, right? The first thing that is wrong, because I've already counted this before, it's stupid. They're assuming the distance when they're talking about like the whole star particles thing. They're misrepresenting what actually happened in the light novel. You also have this. I'm pretty sure you have this debunk on your TikTok. So it's weird that you're trying to use it. You fucking rat. It says Sakura and Sasuke are clearly able to intercept the polar particles quickly being able to move from the location that they summoned to the location where it was arriving. So it's saying this, right? And it's saying that they're able to quickly do this feat and perform this thing. The amount that they're doing this in isn't actually specified. Also, the distance between Sasuke, Sakura, and the polar particles isn't also specified. They're making an assumption based off of it. And it says we're not given an exact time frame, but we can say for sure it took less than a year because Hagoromo, it's like less than a year Hagoromo too, since he was dying and he wanted to hide this thing. So they're making a lot of bold assumptions, and I can just argue this calc is fallacious based off of just looking at it.
that sounds very similar to your scaling.
It's not. I've already explained why it's not fallacious because I just gave it. I gave an equivalence to why that light speed different speeds, and I already said why it's hundreds of times faster than light. But we can move on.
I think why it is equivalent to your scaling because based on your scaling, it was all on assumptions. You only sent one scan, which is the light speed one for.
Okay, so you already wait. You already agreed. You already agreed to move on. You already agreed to move on past my
scale. I'm just making the equivalence that the fact that
you don't need to make the equivalence.
Your scaling of assumptions. So why can't we make assumptions?
Okay, happy. Let me teach you how to debate. Happy, listen. If it's equivocated, right, and you already agreed for the judge to move on.
My guy, right, you don't know how to debate.
Because Renji will know. Renji will know that. I need
lessons from you.
Okay, you need lessons, bro. You need lessons badly, bro. You need to
learn what it's. You need to learn what it means to debate.
Why? Like who are you, Happy? You like a fucking dyslexic cockroach. You like Diamond Hill Ben 10, you fat ass nigga, you forearm bill bitch. Continue, bro. Continue talking, fat ass nigga. All right.
All I know is I've never seen, besides one other person, anyone be this twisted over a fictional debate. All it means is because you don't know how to debate, you choose to attack people. Okay. That's all you're telling me.
Okay. I choose to attack people, so I'm not countering your argument, Happy?
Yeah, you've actually just said move on, and you ignored every one of my points. I've addressed each of your points, whereas you literally ignore or spurg, so I can't rebuttal any of the points.
So I've never countered your point, Happy? Have I ever countered your point?
For example, you dodged the air repelling one. You dodged the
fact that
air equals light. You dodged. No, I'm answering your question. There are many points that you've completely dodged this entire debate.
Is that your argument? Okay. And there's many diet plans that you have dodged, but I don't talk about them, do I? Do I talk about the Herbalife that you're supposed to take? Do I talk about the diet pills you're supposed to take? No, I do not. So move on, you big bitch. Move on.
You know, if I was to count all the ad hominems that you've done in this debate, you've already lost.
I've already attacked your argument. Multiple times and refuted it on ad nauseums.
No, you haven't. I just explained the arguments that you ignored,
You
and
have
I
another
explained the
Naruto
arguments you didn't address, and now you're choosing to attack me instead of answering the questions because you keep dodging. That's all you do. You're a mad dodger. You literally dodge every single question that I ask, and you're like, do I have to bother answering this question? That's what you keep saying. Do I have to? See, look, you're trying to threaten me with ad hominems. Are you going to answer the questions, or are you going to keep threatening? Are you still going to use ad hominems?
Happy. I've already refuted your argument. Do you have another speed scaling? Have another one? Yes or no? That's your only argument for speed for Naruto.
Oh, that's a nice straw man there.
That's not a straw. You're just throwing the bait. Are you stupid? A straw man is a misrepresentation of somebody's argument. I never misrepresented anything that you said.
I never said that was my only.
I never said it was either.
That's literally what you said for me. You said this is your only speed scaling for Naruto.
Is this your only argument?
Did. It's on recording.
You're literally strawmanning me while claiming I'm strawmanning.
Now you're being disingenuous. Now you're lying. You're a straight lying, dude. Stop lying. Stop.
Listen,
stop.
Just stop.
Just stop. Just stop. Stop. You're making yourself look stupid. Stop.
Hey, little happy. Hey, little happy. Do you have another speed argument? Yes or no? Do you have another speed argument? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, bring it up.
Are you going to let me bring out my arguments as well? Because I still think I have established your debunk was trash. You never disproved anything in my thing. So we're going to move on. Nope, we're going to move on.
Continue.
You just said it was an assumption, and then you said, "Yep, that's the counter."
I don't know what I said. It was fallacious because
it literally is. That's pretty much what you said. So we can move on. Let's just go with that's your debunk. You think that it was an assumption and fallacious. That was your best argument to counter it. So yep, let's move on then. I'm gonna chuck in another one. I just need to prove that he's light speed because you've only proven that he's massively hypersonic. You didn't have anything to say about that. So
are you done? Are you going to go off of another point? Are you arguing for speed again? Or are you going to bring up another calc? Or are you going to AP? Because if you felt like you
are for speed because you think that cutting people off is a sufficient means of winning. All right, so based on
okay, if you felt like you won that speed point, why do you need to bring up another argument for speed? Why do you need to bring up another argument if you won the speed point? That shows that you're unsure if you even won that. You're scared because you're scared. Oh, you're scared, Happy. Come on, move on. Go on.
Every time you tried to bring up your one point, you just kept chucking in other.
Go on AP and durability. Go on AP and durability. Come on.
So, and you're being hypocritical right now. You literally said, "Oh, I can't prove the pad cannon, so I'm going to start bringing in other PX's lasers because I couldn't prove the pad cannon."
Move on.
So I'm going to move on to something else. I'm going to move on to something else. I'm going to move on to something else. That's what you keep saying because every time you get debunked, you just keep repeating yourself, and then you say, "I'm going to move on now. I'm going to move on now."
You big ass bitch, nigga, fuck you talking about, nigga? You like fucking alien, nigga? You fucking Megatron Bill body bitch. You fat ass nigga, don't even talk to me, nigga. You like fucking mad man, this bitch, nigga. Nigga, you in the chat, you fat ass bitch. Fuck up, nigga. Booga booga, stupid ass nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? I would hit you in the head with a Halo shotgun, you fat ass nigga. I swear to God, I would hit you with a tomahawk in the back of your fucking head, nigga. You Call of Duty.
All right.
Yo, why don't you just let him speak, bro? No dick shit.
I'm just sending the last thing, which will actually matter. Naruto blocks at point blank. This is a clear light beam. It has the properties of light, and I'll show you that it actually is stated be light. Unlike your fucking air pellet, or whatever you want to call it, it's not fucking light.
Okay, cool.
It's literally just air. Can you see the fat red circle there? It literally states that it's light. He blocks light mid-flight.
Anything else?
This is a clear demonstration of a real light speed.
Is this scared?
And it's not just light speed.
Light that was developed to be used.
Naruto is cutting it off. He is literally blocking light while it was mid-flight, meaning that it is faster than light. It has to be faster than light because in order to react to light while it's mid-flight, that it's 4 or even 5 times faster than light compared to the speed of light because he has to be fast enough to intercept the light. Based off this calc alone, based off this feat alone, this still puts him 5 times faster than light.
The same speed. Prove that retains the same speed.
As a consequence, this means that Naruto, with his speed that is faster than light, that he's going to blitz
Stop dodging and answer
Luffy
my question.
as a consequence.
Stop dodging and answer my question. Stop dodging.
All right. Did you answer
Said
my
prove that it
question?
retains
No.
the same speed.
Respect goes two
Prove
ways.
that it
You
retains the
can't
same speed.
cut me off.
Exactly.
You can't
So
cut me off
chat,
if
you
you're not
overload
gonna
looking bitch.
listen
Continue.
to me.
Okay.
Why should I answer
prove
your
that it
questions if you're
retains
not
the
gonna answer
same
mine?
speed.
I'm not going to answer your
Prove that it
questions
stays the
if you're going to
same.
not answer any of mine. You haven't answered any of mine. You keep dodging all my questions and my points. You keep trying to talk over the top of me. You keep trying to talk over the top of me. You keep trying to talk over the top of me. You keep trying to talk over the top of me. It's got nothing. It doesn't matter, dude. You
Chill out. Wait, this is just going way out of hand.
Chill out.
Bro.
Stop wasting time. I already counted. I said prove the same speed, prove it retains the same speed from the initial firing rate. Because it's the same counter that you try to present against the Kuma thing. And I said that my calculation takes it as a low. So I can argue that the assumptions would be relative in terms of relativity. You saying that he shoots his light beam, I'm asking you to prove at the point that he disperses this said light beam, that it retains the same speed that it does from the initial release of the light beam. It's the same argument that you attempt to use it on me. Otherwise, mine is a calc though. Mine is lowball. So I'm trying to assert the fact that I can argue in terms of relativity for the calc. You are just trying to make a blatant claim saying Naruto
no,
blocks.
that's a false equivocation. You completely strawman my argument, and I'm going to prove that you just strawman me, and you completely misrepresented what I said. What I said is the actual pad cannon, the actual air that is being repelled, you never proved that the air itself is first light, second light speed. You proved that it was being repelled at air or the light speed, but you never proved that the air itself was actually, in fact, a light speed attack. Just because you hit something at light speed doesn't mean that it's going to continue at light speed. Whereas if it is light, then you can automatically prove that it's light. So based on that point alone, I actually managed to I managed to prove that this attack is indeed light. You did not prove that your attack was actually made of light. Therefore, because you didn't prove that it's light, does not have the functionalities of light, and it can't be the speed of light.
You agreed to move past this, so can we keep going? Next
Then
time
why'd you bring it up again? Don't be hypocritical. Why'd you bring it up again?
Next time you talk on a tangent, mute Happy as well. Don't just mute me for stuff that he does, because he goes on tangents. You already agreed that the judge will decide.
I have not gone on a tangent. You brought up a point, and I'm addressing the exact point you re-brought up. You brought it up again because you know you're scared. You know that you were wrong. You didn't establish your point strong enough. That's why you wanted to bring it up again, so you could rebuttal your same point that was super weak that I already debunked.
Like that, if I drag you through a fucking bro. Stop
Listen
fucking
to this
muting me,
dog
bro.
bark. Listen to this dog.
Stop muting me. Stop muting me. Let's go off of AP and durability. We're up. The speed point is done. I've already counted your speed point. I'm done on this ad nauseum bullshit.
Yep, so Luffy's lightning speed and Naruto is faster than light at least 5 times. And if we think massively faster than light.
Okay, let's go off of AP and durability. Luffy
Alright, cool. So you got lightning speed, Luffy.
Okay.
Great.
You think that. Cool. Okay, so like I said, Luffy bypasses durability. It does not matter how strong Naruto is. He punches the shit out of him.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay.
You prove that durability count. It actually matters. How is durability negation going to help you here?
Let me prove it to you. Okay, so a certain character has a certain durability, such as, let's say, I can say Kaido. I can say Kaido's like large planetary or multi-continental, based off of like scaling to the other Yonkos or Whitebeards. If I make this equivalence and I say that Kaido's is strong, and I base off something like a Luffy calc, right? I say Luffy can't even damage Kaido. He's not able to break past his scales, and he has like multi-continental AP. You can have a drastic difference in AP on like several forms of magnitude, or like several, like it can take several joules of force to like to get past somebody's durability or whatever, but it has no relevance actually, because what's important is if you're able to bypass durability, you're able to exert that amount of power internally, you'd have to prove that their internal organs can actually take these attacks from exploding from the inside, which Luffy is actually able to do. So it doesn't matter what his durability is if you're arguing he's planetary or some shit like that, because Luffy can just easily bypass Naruto's skin, bypassing his durability and exerting that force internally, destroying Naruto from the inside. So it does actually matter. It is relevant. Put your Big Mac down and talk.
Mad
You can
lag.
stop.
Hey, you talking about Big Macs, you fat ass nigga? Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up! I'll violate you, nigga. You stupid bitch.
Wait, who
What
is
you gonna
that?
do? Come to my house, you fat nigga? Shut the fuck up.
Nigga, you fat ass nigga. If I
Suck my
violate
dick,
you,
you fat bitch. Suck my dick.
you're irrelevant. You're irrelevant. Shut up,
I'm
bitch.
irrelevant. Shut the fuck.
Irrelevant. Fat ass
The
nigga.
best feats that I've seen that Luffy's actually managed to use his durability negation on was Burndy World. Anyone past that doesn't even scale past like mountain level plus.
Why does that counter what I was saying?
Because
Bro,
this ability was only proven to actually harm Burndy World, who scales off Luffy anyways. So if Luffy's equal to Burndy World, whatever you establish Luffy to be at around Burndy World time, that's what he is for the rest of the time.
Listen. You're referring to the red. Okay, for the rest of this, I'm just gonna slap you. It's like, okay, oh my god, you're insane. Okay, for the rest of this debate, right? Okay, the Luffy Burndy World thing that you're referring to, Luffy's using Red Hawk. Red Hawk doesn't necessarily have to negate durability. Fire exerts an amount of force because of the potential joules that it carries inside of the fire. It still has an amount of energy to it. So you saying stuff like fire negates durability, it doesn't have to inherently. Fire can still have an amount of energy output to it. If we know this, then Luffy technically isn't actually negating his durability. He's just burning him.
Wait, why are you arguing for me? Why are you helping me prove that it's not durability negation?
Arguing for you. What I'm doing to you is I'm showing you that the scene that you're referring to, Luffy using Red Hawk on Burndy World, it is not the same equivalence as Luffy using Ryu, because he uses this ability on what's it called, on like stones and trees, to the point where he's able to destroy these from the inside, and he's also able to just use this this ability in general to destroy like the sea prism cuffs or whatever.
Well,
like this is totally
Naruto
different in
uses
function.
durability. Naruto also uses durability negation on walls and
You sound
poles,
like
but
the
that
nigga-
doesn't make him. That would make him just as powerful as Rio. Then using
Happy,
your logic,
I'm gonna
if
be
we're gonna
honest,
go off
Happy,
rocks and
Happy,
trees,
I'm gonna be honest,
Naruto
Happy,
does
I'm
the
gonna
same
be
thing
honest.
using frog kata. He also has durability negation
This is
using your logic.
irrelevant. This is irrelevant. Let me show you why it's not. Okay, so you sound like just like the niggas in my TikTok comments. You're so stupid. Okay, like I said, if
You're
you're
like the people in my YouTube comments. Literally
listen.
brain dead. Literally brain dead.
Are you gonna let me respond? Okay, Happy. If you have an attack, right, and I give you the equivalence to where somebody of several magnitude that is multiple times, it could be like 12 times greater in terms of durability or AP, in terms of magnitude, in terms of joules outputted or exerted in terms of force, none of this matters because you're able to exert this amount of power to destroy said object. The reason why this is important, because you're trying to falsify this and you're trying to talk about like Frog Kumite with Naruto, or they were saying Shuriken that is
Frog kata. Frog kata.
Okay. Doesn't I don't care, bitch. You Korean speaking bitch. Continue.
You don't even
Like I was
bother
saying.
reading anything. You don't
Okay,
even know One Piece. You don't know
listen,
Naruto.
are you gonna let me respond?
You
Let me
claim
respond.
that
Are you
you're the
gonna
best debater on Discord, but you're
respond?
actually just
Are you gonna
talking.
respond? Are you gonna let me respond? Okay, thank you. Stop cutting me off midpoint, but you get mad when
Are
I
you
do.
gonna
I
let me
let you
respond?
talk.
No.
I responded to the point you made 5 minutes ago, and you keep talking.
Oh, when did I say you? I said you're gonna let me respond. And then I said no. And you literally just proved my point that you weren't listening.
Like I said, Happy.
Well done.
Moving on, I already gave you the direct distinction between him using Ryu or Ryo compared to him using the Red Hawk, because I said Red Hawk is exerted an amount of joules, right? This is not the same.
No, you never proved that it was combat efficient.
Huh?
Show me that Red Hawk.
So now you want to bring up a new argument. So you realize I countered your own argument. You bring up a new argument. So this is a separate argument from the argument you already
you brought up Rio, right? You brought up the Haki.
No,
you brought up the Haki that smashes trees.
You try to equate Red Hawk with Rio, and that's not the same thing. When you realize you were getting slapped on this point,
so now we've established that Luffy doesn't have any durability negation. We've established that he has none. Because, alright, prove it. Show me a scan where he uses it on somebody. Show me a scan of where he uses Rio on somebody in battle. Show me a scan. Go ahead. I dare you. Show me a scan where he's using it in a fight against somebody.
Are you done?
Show me a scan.
Done.
Otherwise, let's move on. Let's move on then. Show me a scan that he uses it in battle. Because that's one of the conditions of durability negation. Do you want me to send you the durability negation definition for versus fandom? You literally have to prove that it's battle ready, that you can use it in battle. It has been used. You haven't proven anywhere that Luffy actually uses Rio in battle. Send me a panel. I dare you to send me a panel where Luffy uses it in battle.
Anybody thought he was funny? Okay, moving on. Like I was saying,
Great. So
the point
you've proven that Luffy does not have durability negation that he can use in battle.
Somebody can mute him,
Awesome.
right?
Well done.
Mute him or some shit. Can the judge just mute him? It's annoying as fuck when I'm trying to talk and he's talking over. I was just being formal as hell. Okay, so if I'm moving off of this, if I'm moving on to this point, right? The reason why that it's important and that you can use this functionality is because Luffy uses Rio on the tree and he also uses on the block and the collar. Luffy then ends up training with Haguro the flowers to actually learn how to use this ability. At the end of it, Luffy actually goes training before he actually returns to Onigashima or returns to the palace to use this ability on Kaido. When he gets this training, Luffy's actually ready to the point where he would be able to use this. And we know this because he's already got it and he's ready to fight Kaido. He is ready to go against Kaido and use ability. You saying that it has to be battle hardened at the beginning of this debate, I've already said that certain VSB standards I do not accept. Certain ones that are general assumptions or like you try to make certain equivocations for, like the general things like speed, AP, multiversal, stuff like that, I'll accept, but certain things I do not. So for Luffy being ready to fight Kaido, Luffy mastering this ability, and the person who is teaching him this ability thinking that Luffy is ready to use it, you can make a correlation. You could say via Occam's razor that Luffy will be able to use this using the least likely assumption, using the least assumption to get the most likely assumption. There you go.
Alright, so I just posted a scan, and I debunked the whole point. We can move on after the scan. Basically, it states that in particular, this ability, that's durability negation, has to cause serious damage to a very strong opponent. He's basing it off an assumption that he's going to hurt Kaido, which he hasn't done yet. There's no panels to prove that Ryo will actually work. He has no feats to go off, based off the fact that there is no feats of Luffy using Ryo to actually harm somebody using durability negation means that he does not have it. He has not been proven. Otherwise, with your argument, you're literally basing it off an assumption that it will work.
Why are you being racist? Why did you just say durability negation? What the fuck? Why are you being racist, nigga?
I said negation.
No, you said
durability negation. You know what I'm talking about.
Now you talk about
and now you're trying to bring race into this? Come on, man. You know that this is more than that.
I will hit you like the halfling and slash you. Do not talk about my ancestors, nigga.
You're trying to resort to victim tactics. You're trying to play the victim when you've been nothing but disrespectful this entire debate. You've been nothing but disrespectful this entire debate. You are pathetic for a debater. You literally call yourself a debater when all you do is spurg.
Okay, all I do is spurg. You done? Okay, so like I said, I've already counted this point. We can move on.
No, you haven't.
Okay, so you can take that, leave it to the judges. Cool. What's Naruto's AP?
No.
I can.
Yo, wait, Icesta.
What?
I got lagged out when you explained the point. Can you explain it once more?
The VSB scan.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, you know how like in the beginning of the debate, I was already in that certain VSB standards I don't accept because like I think that they're wrong or they can be like misinterpreted by like things in verses like elements having different components of speed, like One Piece.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what I was saying to him is for the durability negation thing, he was like, okay, you have to use this. I said that basically he's able to use this ability and the person who is training him on the ability at first pretty much he actually like implies that Luffy isn't ready to use it and he starts training him. Luffy then is able to use it on objects of contact such as like trees, collars, break them and explode bricks and shit with them. So I'm like, for Luffy to be able to use this on points of contact or objects of content, Luffy should also be able to use them afterwards because Luffy is actually ready to use this against Kaido and he's also ready to use this ability in general. So that's why I said that him trying to falsify this and saying that VSB states, according to him, if I go to the scan shot, let me read it verbatim. Where's it? Use on a strong, you keep putting in caps with big. Well, he said the ability that allows users to damage the target, regardless of its durability. It never has to. It doesn't actually say opponent. It actually extrapolates later. It says the ability that uses to damage the target. What are they targeting with this ability? Then it says, in particular, enables causing serious damage to a very strong opponent. It's just describing the function of it, even in the absence of large attack potency. So all it's describing is that you're able to damage people even without having a large attack potency, which supports the fact of durability negation. But the initial sentence of the definition just says that you can damage a target. A target can be a tree, an object, or anything else. So I've already proved that Luffy has this functionality, and he never asked me to post a scan for it, which I can do if he wants me to right now. But I'm pretty sure he's aware of the scan already. That's what I used to counter.
Did you get my point for that, Renji, or do you want to move on?
You might as well repeat your point.
Alright, I'll just quickly wrap up. Basically, he hasn't, like, as the definition states, there's multiple different kinds of durability negation, right? And there's like 6 different categories. And if you can't prove that your character fits into any of those categories, whether it be energy manipulation or whether it be any sort of kind of durability negation, it has to be proven with feats that your said character did something to negate durability against a strong opponent. And the example that they give on the Versus fandom is the Flash literally putting his hand and grabbing somebody's brain by phasing through it. Now, this is why I asked for proof, because the burden of proof would fall on Kruos to prove that where has Luffy used this durability negation that he speaks so highly of in the manga. I dared him to send a panel. There was no evidence to support the fact that he's actually used it successfully in battle. And he even disagreed with a point that would have helped him about Red Hawk and claimed that that was not durability negation either. So we've established that Luffy has no durability negation based on the fact that he's never been proven to have done so in battle ever. And we can't base it off assumptions. So based on the fact that he sent no panels, no feats, it's not durability negation. Or he has not proven that Luffy can use it in combat.
Okay, so I didn't agree to any of that. I already countered it. So do you want to go over Naruto's?
Yeah, so I'll go over Naruto's AP. Or actually, I might go over Luffy's AP.
What? You don't need to go over my character. Scale your character. Why are you so weird? Just go. Just scale your character.
No, I just wanted to establish what I think he is. Then you'd have
I can get Luffy to large planetary without durability negation or larger than that. I can get him to like anywhere.
Well, did you want to scale that? And I can see if you've got any contention.
You said what?
Did you want to
you agree that he's large? You agree?
I'll go with any contention with any of your scale because I want to see your scale.
So you just want to steal my arguments. Okay, big bitch. All right. Basically, you're familiar with Whitebeard being able to destroy the planet?
No.
Okay, you don't think he's able to destroy it?
No feats to prove so.
Okay, so do you think that if Beerus and Goku clash, then they say that they're going to destroy the universe, and it doesn't count towards an actual feat because they didn't destroy it?
That's a false equivocation.
I'm just asking if that's what you're trying to say, or if that's what you think.
So I'm saying because it's a false equivocation, that there's actually a third additional answer that's not a yes or no. In this situation, because there's 2 of them, and you've got double the force, when you put them together, you now have a different result. Whereas Whitebeard is on his own, so you can't use that as an analogy.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. Whitebeard is stated to be able to do this. Does Whitebeard actually have to do it? It's a statement of validity. It's a statement of validity and who has more validity. The statement comes from Sengoku when he's making this claim saying that Whitebeard is able to destroy the planet or whatever, he's able to destroy the world. But it's not just stated there, it's also stated in the data book, the light novel, and the V card written by Oda. So it's something that Oda is directly portraying, he's actually stating that he's able to do so, aside from a character's validity or statement or
Are you Yep.
Okay.
I'll finish.
Okay. Or aside from anything that a character is making in terms of assumption, that's just the Devil Fruit's power in general. So if the power of the Devil Fruit is able to destroy the world, then it has fine, should have planetary AP. You can argue for DC as well, but
Alright, so based off what you said, the scaling comes from Whitebeard, but if I were to state that Whitebeard, if he was to be stated to be able to destroy the world, in Japanese and in English. World
yeah, you're gonna use diary. Okay, let me cut you off.
It can also mean society. It can also mean
it would basically
mean only if anything,
Okay,
just what's on the surface,
that's what
and
happened.
surface destruction is
That's
not a
what
planetary
okay,
feat.
so, okay, I'm gonna one shot this argument. You have translator biasness. You know what that is?
No, a bias would mean that you ignore all
Okay,
other definitions but one.
That's not what I
So
said. I didn't say
you'd have to
bias. I said
disprove.
translator bias. Hey,
You'd
no, I
have
did
to
not say.
disprove that there's no other
Okay,
definition
okay,
for
so watch
world.
this. Not
He said
misrepresenting my argument.
translation biasness.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, it's
Stop
not
being
even
a
a word.
rat.
Biasness.
Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's something called translator bias, right? I'll describe it to you. I'll post a scan as well. Let me get it. Here you go. Post the link. Where's scan shot?
Well, what would make it unbiased is if you could show me a feat of Whitebeard destroying a planet.
Here you go. For some reason I still can't post a link. The bot, I think. Here's a website from the NCI.gov. You can like go to the link yourself as well. But for some reason I can't post links, screenshots and shit. But it basically just refers to the biasness in translation and like the interpretation process. And like how basically when you're a translator, if I speak like if I'm not a translator, I translate Mandarin or Japanese or kanji in general, right? And I'm making an assumption because everything that we make is an assumption on reality. So don't try to like write out of that. But if I'm making an assumption, I try to say, well, this word can mean world, society, or this thing can mean this or that. Whatever I'm saying, I have an inherent bias to. So me saying that, it becomes to be fallacious because you can make a claim or you can say certain things and you can interpret it as meaning one word because you have a biasness to it. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for posting the link because I couldn't post it. But yeah, so basically you have an inherent bias to
are you
it.
trying to say that you're biased in your interpretation of world?
I'm not translating it though. You are. You're trying to give it. You're trying to give us.
Because you're trying to claim that world means something. What is it? What do you
No,
think world means then? What do you
Hey,
think
so
world means?
listen, because One Piece, the official translation for One Piece in terms of English is Viz. The Viz is technically used as the primary source for how we read One Piece. So me reading it, I'm interpreting as the way that we hear, and I'm interpreting it as the way that we use like American society. Even if you bring up the argument and you try to bring Japanese colloquial definitions, or you try to say it could mean this or this, you're biased towards that.
Okay.
So you're gonna say that. But the way that they're translating it, right? Oda is also aware of this because Oda basically allows them to translate this. So they're already agreeing that the definition or the way that we interpret it is fine. We can interpret it as planet or world. Send me the links. Okay, I got you. Thank you.
What links?
He wanted me to send him links because I can't post them. Me.
Right, okay. I thought you were talking to me.
Hey, here you go. I sent you another one.
So,
but yeah, just all the ways that trend.
Are you
just
claiming?
All the way that trend.
Are you claiming world to mean?
Huh? I'm claiming world. Okay, I'm claiming world in this sentence, or to be planet, or just the world of One Piece. Also,
that's translation bias because it's clearly hyperbolic because he's never been proven to do so.
Okay, so let me give an example. Some things such as like hyperbole taken to be exaggeration. Exaggeration, depending on context, can be interpreted as several. So like it can be interpreted several ways. So if it was hyperbole, and let's say like somebody like Jimby makes a statement, and he's like, oh, like
nobody cares, nigga.
Okay, so if somebody like Jimby is making a statement based off of imagination, or he's making a statement based off a knowledge claim, what it looks like to him, you can say something that tends to not stop or be never ending to you comes off to be infinite. So stuff like that can be attempted to be hyperbole. So saying Goku's saying, oh, he's able to destroy the world, you could argue that Goku is making a statement based off of what he's seen Whitebeard be able to do. He's saying that he could destroy the world. But the actual Viver card and the actual data book and light novel explain this directly outside of it, and it's not paraphrasing Goku's statement, it is fine because this is directly Oda saying these things, and these are directly the writer saying these things. So it's not something that has to be hyperbole or hyperbolic. you go. Like, do you have
So
another
there's
counter?
several examples of non-viable power scaling. The first is that
Is it
if a
is it just
character
wait, wait,
that
wait,
is
one
not
second? Not to
reliable,
cut you off. Not to cut you off. Not to cut you off. Right, but I don't know if it's just me or everybody in the VC. But does he sound like Deathstroke or something? Because he's like cutting out or something. Like, I don't know why.
It's
It
just
sounds
you.
like you're like. Oh,
Good
okay, you sound like
controller.
Deathstroke.
it sounds alright for me. I'm fine. I can hear you and whatnot.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Well,
you can keep talking then.
do you want me to continue? So basically, there's a couple examples of non-viable power scaling. The first is that if everybody else in the verse at that particular time has not shown any other planetary feats, then this would be considered a huge outlier. The second is that you're saying that this is from a statement from Sengoku. How do we know that's a reliable source? Because as we go back to before, in some of the panels I've shared already, it has to be a reliable source as
Okay.
to who's making these statements. And you said it came from Sengoku. How do we know he's just like
All right.
not talking like trying to hype this up?
Okay. So I already counter this. I'll repeat it one more time just for everybody to hear. So when I said things such as hyperbole and hyperbolic statements come to play based off of a knowledge claim that somebody makes. So this is the same thing that I'd use for like the debunk of like the multiversal thing for Luffy or whatever that you made. Certain statements like a character assuming that a character has infinite power or like they have like an infinite space or something like that.
You just cut out. Hello?
I think you just got lag. It's like really laggy. Got lagged out like 20 times.
I can't hear anything, by the way.
Well, what I was saying is like certain statements though they're like if it's based off like a knowledge claim, right, and then the character is like, okay, I think this space is infinite, or it's like an infinite space. Why do they know this? What validity do they have to make this statement, and why are they making like such a broad or like a high assumption about something that takes a greater assumption? So in terms of knowledge claims, you don't actually test them unless we know that they have enough validity to make that statement. So for Sengoku to say, well, we know that Whitebeard, like he said, like Whitebeard has the power to destroy the world. It's like, okay, what has Sengoku seen from Whitebeard, or why does Sengoku know this? So you can go a couple of routes with this. You can say Sengoku has enough information, being in the government, being over like Sword and Shield, being able to like maybe he knows something about the Devil Fruits, but that takes too much assumptions, right? So I would just miss that. But things like Whitebeard shaking the world, or him shaking like the seas and stuff like that, he's making this assumption. This is why he could be referring to this, and this is most likely the case of why he's saying that he could destroy the world based off of the power that he has. It doesn't have to mean that in DC he can destroy the world. He's just saying that in terms of like, yes, he could destroy the world. It depends on how you look at it. But that's not the argument that I presented entirely. The argument that I presented entirely was the fact that this is stated in the V card written by Oda. This is stated in the data book, and this is also in the light novel. So these are things that are separate and they're not paraphrased to the manga. So if they're separate in connotation to the manga, for us to assert the fact that Whitebeard can destroy the world because this is something that Oda is saying, it doesn't have any correlation or causation to the Sengoku statement, I can make the assumption to assume that this is the case. So I don't need to just use the Sengoku evidence. That's just supplementary when the data book and the V card suggests this for me.
Oh, right. But based on what you've sent, which is no statements, by the way, I can't
You want me to
confirm
post
that.
them? Because yeah, obviously, if you don't ask me to post them, you're going to assume that you accept them.
And
Like if you
then,
don't
but
ask
then
me to post these things.
even still, like I was gonna share before, the two main points that I wanted to specify was that, as it says here, they gave examples, right? If character A, so let's say Whitebeard, was mountain level or something, and character B said that he's been reliably stated to be superior or something like that, it has to be reliably stated. Sengoku is not a reliable source. It's just an assumption that, because we don't know, we haven't seen any feats, we haven't even seen Sengoku's feats, so we don't know if he's actually able to gauge power correctly. We don't even know if the definition of Whitebeard being stated to destroy the world is even accurate, because, like you said, with translation bias, world could mean many things, And if we look at all the different definitions of world, whether it be in English, because that's what Viz translated world to be, world can also just be like all the people in society. It can also in Japanese mean that too.
Are you aware? Are you okay? Are you aware that Oda actually knows about the English like for One Piece and the actual like the continuity for One Piece? It's like it's basically when you use certain kanji arguments or you try to like falsify things like that, you're implying that the writer doesn't actually know their fan base. It's because like for example like let me use like Toriyama for example. I can use Oda directly, right? Okay, when you're assuming this, you're actually assuming that Oda doesn't know anything about the English viewers or the English readers that read his series. He doesn't think that like they exist or some shit like that, and he's only speaking to the Japanese people or like he's only directly like referring to it in that setting. If you make this assumption, one that takes a higher assumption instead of assuming that they do know these things, and this is consistent because they do have English fan talks, they do have questions that are asked to them, and they do have translators and things that are presented to them in SBSs and interviews. So you make an assumption and you trying to say that like it can be translated as society or this. I've already explained to you why using translator bias. You said that's fine.
We can move on then. I'll agree with that it could be like that because
okay,
then
so you
using
can
your
see
same
that
logic,
point.
then
So you can see
this
that point
means.
then. So you can see that point.
I agree because look, in this case, that means that Naruto is also Kuruma. 50% Kuruma is already planetary. Using your exact
Okay.
logic,
Yeah,
because it states that he can turn the world to ash. So we're going to use
Okay.
your definition of society, right? Or we're going to use that he can destroy an entire planet based of this. This is just using half of Naruto's stated.
Do you
No,
think?
actually, this is half of Kuruma, which is not even Naruto's full power, because you've got Naruto's power plus Kurama's power. Then you've got the other 50% that he gets back from Minato. So we're talking like we're talking star solar system here.
Okay, don't
In
don't.
the end, it would
That's
get all the way to
spitballing.
solar system level.
Spitballing. Okay, you prove that. Then you're making an assertion. That's a positive claim.
Okay, so we've got a 50%. What's it called? Kurama here, right? And then the
Yeah.
Ten Tails was stated to be universal.
Okay, why do you think this is the case?
So it's stated in the data books that the
Okay.
Ten Tails is actually a universal.
So what I'll say for this argument to provide a contention and a debunk to it,
Okay.
certain things are implied to be a certain way when using stuff like world, society and stuff like that. Without using translator bias, you can interpret them as world. But certain statements like Madara being like, okay, my Susuno can smash all things in the universe. We know these statements could be hyperbolic because Madara does not have enough validity to make this statement. Things like the 10 tails in the data book of it being like, what's the statement that you're directly referring to? Did you post it or something? You do not load. The 10 tails statement?
The world turning to ash for Nine Tails.
No, I'm talking about the 10 tails.
Oh, I'll post the Ten Tails one. Oh, here you go. So it basically says that the fragment of the God Tree is universal, and it's called the Ten Tails. So the Ten Tails.
No, it just says, okay, I know what you're talking about. You're just talking about a fragment of the God Tree that gave birth to the universe, the 10 tails. We know that this statement, do you know what this is actually based off of?
The Ten Tails?
No, no. Oh my god. Okay, do you know how the Tsuki clan work?
Yeah.
Like how they basically so you know about the god trees and things that they do and how they like continue to do this pattern. Okay. So so us saying stuff like this, right? And it says like a fragment of the god tree that gave birth to the universe, the 10 tails, right? In the scan that's below it says the 9-tailed beast received life in the world because of the figure that separated the personification of chakra. The 10-tailed, even as innovation there boasts overwhelming power, and the 10-tailed power is beyond imagination. All this is referring to, you can argue that this statement is hyperbolic because it actually is saying that it gave birth to the universe. Are you aware that people in like Japan or like people whenever they translate or they make like certain text or titles, they use hyperbolic statements all the time? Like in Dragon Ball Super, what's his name? Dispo is stated to be light speed, but they use certain words to over hyper use like hyperbole to over exaggerate something. So when they're saying like the 10
one of those hyperbole words.
Okay, so when it says the fragment of the god tree that gave birth to the universe, this isn't true because when is this actually showed? The statement what they're referring to and what we can argue they're referring to is in a picture. When it says, with his yin yang elemental power, he created the nine tail beast from the 10 tails chakra. The tail beasts are among his creation. It's just referring to how the 10 tails is like the origin point. I can just argue that based off of the scan. It doesn't have to be
Actually, this
interpreted
is
the way that
showed
you're
within the anime, and it's also showed within the books, the novels themselves, which are also canon. That in fact, Momoshiki created a parallel dimension.
Momoshiki
So
created a
as we
power
got here,
what is a
we were talking
okay,
about, do you know
so
the Asutsuki work, right? So the Asutsuki, Momoshiki being one of them, he was stated to not only be able to eat stars for fun in this book. As you can see, this is chapter 5, verse page 9,
okay.
16 of
Okay,
Boruto.
this isn't necessary. I don't necessarily disagree with the star statement.
Well,
I'm referring to
the second sentence though says a parallel dimension he made, and this is also referred to in the anime
okay,
as
I know
well,
what you're talking about.
by Naruto.
Okay, so you're just going on a tangent. What I'm telling you, I already know this. So why are you arguing
Okay,
for it?
so what I'm saying is
there's
that
no contention, so you're just rambling.
no,
So
I'm
me saying
showing that there's additional sources to suggest that there's actually more universal feats, whereas with
okay,
the
I don't
Whitebeard statement,
disagree.
there's not that
I
much
never did.
proof.
Okay, did you listen to me? I didn't disagree with the contention. I disagreed with the scan inherently. I just said that scan could
Oh,
also be interpreted to be hyperbole. So you just talk for no reason.
okay, we'll see. Just based off the fact that you think it's a hyperbole, even though
Okay,
you don't think that your
okay, so
scans are
okay,
hyperbolic, because otherwise
okay,
that'd be hypocritical,
okay,
right?
okay. So let me respond this way. Okay, do you think okay? With this argument that I granted, right? Would you say that Naruto is universal?
Yep.
Okay, so do you have an would you scale this to their durability as well? Of course, like obviously AP equals durability.
For his durability,
Yeah, counter force. You should know about that. Obviously, if you're a power scaler.
not
Oh, not? You're gonna
actually,
say no?
yeah, no, that should
Yeah,
be fine. The
I
feat that
would
I'm
say
thinking
yeah
of,
too. Okay.
because there's another feat that yeah.
Okay, so basically, so you would argue Naruto is universal in AP and durability. So my contention to this would be that you can still you can still durability to negate somebody who's universal.
I already established this earlier that if you don't have any feats proving that this character has durability
Okay,
negation,
I
then
already think I
yeah.
did. Okay, I think that he
Oh,
just
okay.
faster.
Well,
Okay. So basically, now that you're done with this universal thing, you skate your AP durability and speed. I'm just gonna go over like my last point, pretty much. I think, and then we can just go
okay.
to conclusions to wrap it up. So
I got
basically,
one other thing after, but yeah.
okay. Okay, so basically, what I'll argue is the reason why that Whitebeard statement holds value to it is I was gonna correlate that by just saying obviously Whitebeard relative to the rest of the Yonkos. We know that the Yonkos, it's like stated that basically like the admirals and the Yonkos are used synonymously in One Piece, implying that they're relative in terms of like power and they're on like some type of relativity. But I would argue this is actually a low end fee because we see people like Whitebeard and Kaido be comparable. Then we know Kaido and Big Mom clash. We know Big Mom hits Luffy in the new chapter. Luffy tanks it, and I would argue his durability scales to his AP. So then Luffy has that. But that's a low end for me. Arguing, like I said, I would argue that he has this ability to speed blitz, and then use this. But then like this isn't his highest AP feat. So are you familiar with Blackbeard?
Yep.
Okay. Blackbeard is said to have infinite gravity. Are you aware of this?
No.
You don't know this? Okay. I'll give you the statement for it.
You can
Here.
explain how that works though. Like, what's the infinite gravity
Okay.
got to do with Luffy scaling?
Jay, do you know what a black hole is?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me get it. 1 second. Okay. Here, I'll post a scan for it. So if you have infinite gravity, right, in a black hole, you would agree that a black hole would have more mass or more potential output than like a sun, right? It would be like a star exploding, or like just for a low ball. It can be higher than that. I'm just low balling it. You agree that a black hole would be like star level, right?
Oh, see, what a definition of a black hole is that there's a
You know, yeah.
non-quantifiable amount of gravity that's going on there because there's a lot of things that we don't understand. Neither do we have any empirical data to prove what's going on in a
Okay.
black
So
hole.
it's
So there's not
okay.
there's
So
no
okay.
evidence. It's not because it's immeasurable. It's because we've never measured it. So we don't
Okay,
actually
that's
know what's
not
in them.
okay. That's not what I'm trying to say though. I don't know why you keep
Right.
like strawmanning what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm
What
not
I'm saying to
strawmanning what
you,
you're saying.
yeah,
I'm
what I'm
stating what
saying
a
is
black hole is.
okay. Okay,
Wait.
I never had a
Wait,
conclusion.
Hapi, Icesta.
What?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah.
Bro, I have to dip for a minute, bro. Is there anyone recording? Cause I
Yeah.
need to go over the recording anyways for some points, but if
Okay.
there's no one to record, if there's no one
There's
recording, I
I
there's
guess
people.
stopped
I could like.
recording so I could not lag.
Yeah, same here. But I know there's people recording. Wook recording. Some other people in here recording.
Can we just make sure that they're recording? Cause
Yeah, Wook, are you still recording?
Oh, I got a couple of people messaging me saying that they're recording,
Just
so
DM me.
we're good.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna have my judgment out today. I think at most like
Right.
tomorrow, early tomorrow. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Um. Okay. So continuing off of the point. Basically, what I would argue, I was never arguing that like actually infinite. I'll just give you in terms of relativity. That's why I said it was star level. Argue like if I was arguing for it actually being infinite, I would have said it was an infinite 3D feat. So
Right.
it would be similar to the force of a star exploding in terms of joules or force that it explits. For me saying this though, like I said, I'm just giving you feats, and I would say that obviously if Whitebeard is the strongest man in the world, then Whitebeard should be able to produce more force than this, so then Whitebeard would be higher to this, and it's consistent because we know that the One Piece world is actually calc to be like sun level. Do you know about that calc, or do you want me to show you it?
I know about the calc, but it's not accurate.
Okay, so you disagree with it being accurate?
Yeah, there's no statement saying that it is.
That it's actually that size?
It's based off pixel scaling.
Okay, so you agree?
And it's
You
not
disagree
accurate
with
pixel scaling either.
Okay, so you okay? Why?
Well, first of all, in order for it to be accurate, the statements need to be conclusive. But some of the statements that they made, for example, if you're talking about the Zanisha scaling, prove that Zanisha didn't take a turn.
For that, I didn't take it. Okay, do you know that whenever we make certain scaling, right, and we're basing this off of an assumption that we take, them basing the Zanisha thing, that's not even what I'm referring to. It's also like the red line scaling. That's not what I was using. But even with the Zanisha thing, they're just making an assumption based off of the pattern that it has shown to make. So you saying that, oh, it could have turned, right? You're playing an argument for my skepticism. You can say it could have turned, it could have went backwards, it could have did anything. Like you just doing that isn't an argument. You can just say it's an argument from uncertainty, so I can dismiss it with uncertainty.
Well, it can also stop. Like we don't know.
Yeah, but you making it
specifics of what
okay.
happens to
Do you know what an
Zanisha.
argument? Do you know what an argument from uncertainty is?
In power scaling, it's called unknown and scales to the best feat of that character.
It
So
does,
if you don't
it,
actually have any other feats to support it, then
that's
we can
not the
move on.
case. Okay, that's not the case. So an argument from uncertainty would be if I say something like, well, to be honest, what if Zanisha, like the moving elephant or something, like what if he just got hungry and he decided to stop for like a day and eat some fish in the sea, like something random. Where I was to say, what if he turned around or he went left or right, right? You can assert any of these values based off of a realm of possibilities that we have, but all of these values that we have, we do not have to assume that one is more justified or one is more valid than the other. So what we can do is we can make an assumption and say that based off the pattern of events that we have, we can correlate that this is the case. So the whole Zanisha thing of you saying that, yeah, I could have done this or we don't know, it's just an argument from uncertainty. So I can dismiss it with uncertainty by just saying, well, I don't know if that happened. So
actually,
if we
that's what
based
I
off
argue, that it was uncertain.
Okay. Well,
so you're proving my point here.
I just gave an example why an argument from
uncertain.
uncertainty isn't an argument. No, an argument from
and I'm
uncertainty isn't
saying
an
that your
argument.
Zanisha scaling is uncertain. Not only have you not provided it, but like there's no panels
You
to
said that you already knew what it
accurately.
was. You don't have to provide
Oh,
it.
I know,
You
but
already
I'm
knew.
saying that even with this scaling in the panels that I'm referring to, there's no specific statements stating the exact route, the exact course, the exact amount of time. These are
Okay.
all
Based off
assumptions, and so
assumptions.
this
Based off,
is an
okay.
argument from
Okay.
uncertainty, like you said.
Okay. Okay, so listen. Everything that we base is an assumption. Everything is an assumption, dude. Are you not
But
aware
then you
of
also
that?
have, in power scaling, you have statements that are more credible than others. As
Okay,
we've
so
already
then it
stated,
becomes
we
then it goes
discussed a little bit
okay.
about hyperboles and hyperboles.
So then it goes
This
into an
is
argument of validity because if I make a statement or I use stuff like pixel scaling or calculations, assumptions, and I use all of these things, right, to come to a more likely conclusion using Occam's razor. Where if you use stuff like statements, right, and I use stuff like feats or calcs, the feat of the calc doesn't have to dismiss the statement. The feat of the calc can extrapolate or provide a supplementary evidence to said statement. And also, you saying that it's based off of assumptions, so you're trying to argue it's less credible. It being credible or it being supplementary is still supported because we can use deductive reasoning for this. There's several forms of reasoning. Deductive being one of them, you would be able to equivocate to the Mongo or to Zanisha or to the red line scaling or the planet size. So you could still make these assumptions and still claim this thing. It's entirely
Yeah.
possible.
So the deductive reasoning
Yeah, so
encompasses a
you
field of
agree.
science, right? And this means that you have an educated guess based on what evidence do you have to support this educated guess? Because otherwise, it's just a guess and it's not an educated one. It's not a
Based
deductive
off of okay,
reasoning.
it's
It's based
it's based,
off assumptions or feelings as opposed to facts. Whereas
it's not.
I've got panels to
Wait. Why are
prove
you
each of my
presupposing?
statements.
Are
You
you
don't.
why are you getting loud? Why are you getting loud? But you got mad at me for doing that. I can do the same
I'm not
thing
getting
about my
loud. You cut me
okay.
off.
What I said to you is why are you presupposing that we don't like these like feelings are incorporated into this, or why are you presupposing that like fallibility, or you saying that something is fallible or it takes an amount
How
of
is it a
assumption?
presupposition when you stated that
Okay.
everything is an assumption?
Okay.
I'm using
You're
your argument.
okay. So listen, that's not why. It's a presupposition because you're arguing that feelings. You said verbatim. You said that feelings and assumptions are taken into it. When did I say my feelings were taken into account?
You said that everything is an assumption, and the difference
When
between
did I say
you feel
feelings
that
though?
something is right as opposed to just like knowing
That's not
that
the
something
same
is right
thing. That's not
using
the same
deductive
thing.
reasoning, which
Okay.
is an
That's
educated
not the
guess,
same
as
thing. Okay,
opposed to
you're
using.
falsifying. You're falsifying. You're trying to falsify what I said, but like this is
No,
wrong.
I'm
Like
just
you're
using your
strong man in my
words.
argument. Okay, so let me explain to you why it is right. If I make a presupposition, right, or I make a claim and I use deductive evidence and I try to get to a common goal using like the least amount of assumptions to come to the most likely when using Occam's razor, right, and we're going down this tangent. The reason why you're saying that I'm presup like it's a pre like what's it called? I'm using feelings or something because I feel that way or I feel it's correct, right? Everything that we're using in the debate or we're exchanging dialectics with each other, we're already agreeing to come to a more likely conclusion. We're already going down a pattern of thought which leads us to that conclusion. So you saying that we feel this way? Every claim that we make in this debate is a relative truth. So we are agreeing to come to a conclusion or use assumptions. We are agreeing that everything that we're doing, we're assuming these characters function this way, or they would use this attack or whatever. So you trying to
So we're
argue
agreeing
that
to the versus battle rules. So we're
okay,
using their
yeah,
standard of measurement.
yeah.
It's not an
You
assumption.
can okay, you can do that though, but you're still using assumptions. Everything is an assumption. Do you not understand how like the realm of
No, because
possibility works?
if it fits into the category
So
as described,
everything is an assumption. So everything isn't an assumption.
you strawman me just now. Because what did I just say?
Huh?
What did I just say? Did I say that? No. So
No,
what I
I was
said,
just asking. I said, what are you saying? Are you saying that it isn't an assumption?
yeah. So you strawman me because that's not my argument at all. What I was about to
Okay, I
say
never said it
was that
was. I'm just
using
saying it
the
isn't.
tiering system, which is like there has a standard set of criteria that will make things from assumption to a fact based on the rules. If we had no rules, then we have nothing to scale off. So we have to have some sort of objective standard that we can measure by in order to prove that something is stronger or faster. Otherwise, we may as well just pretend that the entire tiering system doesn't exist because it's just an assumption, right? But we're not assuming that. We already agreed that we're going to use the versus battle wiki as a standard of measurement to measure our characters. Therefore, anything that fits into their measurement or their standard, using the evidence that they asked for and asked to provide to prove that your character is a set speed or AP, would be a fact. in this
Okay.
using the standard rules of
So at the beginning of
Battle
the
Wiki
debate,
assumptions as
okay, I'm
well.
gonna stop you right there. At the beginning of the debate, I've already counted this because I already agreed that I could use SB or VSB standards, but certain standards I do not accept, such as the light speed requirements that you gave. Because I gave certain examples where in verses they could equivocate to different things, like elements can move at certain speeds or other things can move at certain speeds. So you saying this, I already like countered directly by saying that everything in VSB I would agree with during the debate, and I would provide contentions to certain things. So you bringing up this assumption thing, even things like a character being a measurable speed or us trying to make an assumption, everything that we know, we're assuming is the case. We're assuming that this isn't a mistake in writing or a mistake in illustration or drawing. It's an assumption. So me making an assumption using deductive reasoning for the scale is still fine. Like,
Yeah, but
this is just
if it's all
this is just
based
a
off your
small.
subjective
This is just like
feelings or your
okay. Everything is
perspective,
subjective. Everything is subjective.
yeah. And so if we're gonna base it off
Yeah. So you
your
agree that what I'm
subjective
saying is
bias,
subjective as well as you.
if we're gonna use your subjective
Why
interpretation and basically whatever you
why
choose,
did you just switch it from subjective bias to subjective
well, the
interpretation?
reason why
You just
we
switched it from bias
agree
to
to
interpretation. Stop switching. Stop
the
trying to shift the
reason why we
goalposts.
agree
So
to an
stay on topic,
objective
Happy.
standard
Stay on
is
topic.
so that we
So stay on
don't
topic.
have
Why are you shifting the
subjective
goalposts
bias
from
to
what you
influence
initially
it.
said? Why are you shifting the goalposts from what
No,
you originally said? You said it's
you're
subjective
straw
bias
manning
and you
me.
said
You're
it's
cutting me
subjective
off, and now
interpretation.
you're
I'm
shifting
not.
the
That's what
argument.
you said.
Yes, you are.
Everybody in
Nothing
chat
I've
said
said has
subjective
shifted.
bias and you
Everybody in
switched to
chat thinks that
subjective
you've been shifting
interpretation.
this whole time.
You literally said subjective
You're literally
interpretation
so
after saying
biased that you
subjective
have to
bias.
tell people
You
that
literally said
this part
that.
of the battle wiki doesn't work. You literally said that. You
Okay,
literally said
so you
that, well, if I feel
wait.
like it, this
So
section doesn't
happy, so
apply.
happy, so
If
happy,
I
so
feel like
happy. So
it, this
are you
other
gonna listen?
section doesn't
Are you
apply.
gonna listen?
And
Are you gonna listen? Or
now
are you
you're
gonna get
even
loud at
stating
me?
that
Because
you
I've been
don't
packing
agree
you,
with the
dirty ass
AP
nigga.
tiering
So what
system.
the fuck you're talking
Because
to, you
you
bum
literally
bitch?
said that
Fuck
you
fucking
don't
get the pack
agree
this
with the
stupid
tiering
ass. You
system.
fucking raccoon built nigga. Shut the
So
fuck
if
up
you
before I
don't
slap you
agree
on
with the
face below
tiering
me and I choke
system,
with a
then
do-rag string. You fat
your
bitch, you
character
miniature looking
scales to
bitch.
nothing then.
Stop talking. Stop talking over me. Stop talking over
You
me.
can either agree
God
to
damn,
using the
nigga.
tiering
You can't
system,
be formal for
otherwise
shit.
your
You gotta
character
get loud.
scales to
You have
nothing.
to get
How
loud,
can you
but you can't
prove
get loud
that your
enough. But
character
you can't get loud enough,
how
little
can you
boy.
prove
But
that
you
your
can't get
character
loud enough, you
actually
fat ass
scales to
nigga.
anything
You big
without
fat
an
little
objective
bitch. You
standard?
fat back looking
If you
nigga.
don't have an
Why slap
objective
the fuck out
standard,
you,
how can
nigga?
you prove your character
What are you
scales to
talking
anything
to?
then?
What are you talking to? Stop
If you
talking
don't
over
have an
me.
objective standard to measure off, how can you prove that your character scales to
Everything is
anything?
subjective. Nothing is an objective standard. I already disproved this
So
evidence. Everything is objective.
if your scaling is all subjective, then
Yeah, so
prove
yours.
by an objective standard that your
So
character
is yours. Okay,
has
so you're
any
right.
speed
Okay,
whatsoever.
so watch this.
Because
Okay, so
if
watch
it's
this. Okay,
subjective,
so now,
then
okay, now,
if I
okay,
me
wait. Okay,
stating
listen.
that
I'm gonna
I
let you talk.
think that the versus
Happy.
battle wiki
Okay,
interprets Luffy to have no speed and no AP,
okay,
you
okay,
can't disprove
okay,
that.
okay. So
You
now,
can't
okay, now that
disprove
you want
that
to be,
unless if
okay,
you're
you
gonna
done?
go by their
Are you
rules
done
and
to
their
reply?
tiering system. You can't
Okay,
disprove what I said.
okay, are you done?
If you
Okay,
either follow the
okay,
rules and
so,
use their tiering system properly, otherwise
okay,
you just it's whatever I
okay.
say it is.
You
Because if it's
stop being like goofy,
subjective,
nigga.
whatever
Let me
I
talk.
say, you
Let me
can't
talk.
contradict it.
Let me talk,
Unless if
bitch.
you
Fuck
agree
the
to
fuck
the
out you.
rules.
Stop talking, you fat ass Hawaiian looking bitch. You Mulan looking nigga. Stop talking over me before I violate you. What I'm saying to you, Happy, is that now I'm just gonna slap you
You're
with either an
agreeing. You're
epistemic
agreeing
humility
then. You're
argument
agreeing to what
or
I
an
said. You're
ontological
agreeing to what
argument,
I
you
said.
fat ass bitch.
Don't dodge the
Listen,
question.
listen,
Stop dodging the
listen,
question.
listen,
Do you
listen,
agree
you
to what
bitch.
I said then?
Listen,
Stop dodging.
listen, you
Stop
stupid bitch.
dodging.
You fat ass
Stop
nigga,
ducking.
listen
Are
to
you
me
a
for
duck? Are you a
passion.
duck?
Listen
Are
to me
you a
for
duck?
violence,
Are you a
you
duck?
fat ass
Are you
nigga.
a duck?
Why you scaring me for to respond? Why you not letting me
New
respond? You're
loss.
scared. Because
Answer
you're
the
scared. Because
question.
you're scared. Because you're
Answer the
scared.
question, because you're
Because you're
scared.
scared.
I know you're
You're
scared. I
scared.
know you're
Okay, so
scared. I
ontologically,
know you're
right? Okay,
scared.
so ontologically
Because
speaking,
every
so
time
ontologically, okay,
I
now
can
you're gonna talk
smell
over
the
me. So
tears.
now
I
you're
can
gonna talk
see you
over me.
crying behind that
Why?
mic, man. I
Stop
know
fucking over
that
me!
you are in fear. I can tell that you are crying. You are literally going to go hug mom tonight. I know you are. The reason why I know for a fact you're scared is because
Alright, this isn't really productive, right? So just answer each other's question, because right now you niggas are just back for no reason. Like the debate
Yeah,
isn't
can
going
you
to
guys just
continue.
like continue? Thanks.
Yeah, alright. So I don't know who started asking the questions first, but like at this point, this nigga Icesta's gonna ape. Just answer his question. I'm gonna unmute you guys and let's just continue, okay?
Stop talking
so you
over me
agree
now.
then.
Let me respond.
Alright.
Like I said to you. because you want to be a rat and you want to bring up objectiveness. Now I'm going to slap you on fucking IRL because you're fucking an idiot. Listen, what I've been saying to you, right? I can either give it to you in terms of ontologically, or I can give it to you in terms of epistemic humility. If we're arguing based off a realm of possibility inside of an epistemology, right, and we're arguing to come to a common conclusion based off of the subjective matters or exchange dialectics, we're already agreeing that everything that we're saying is an assumption. You're assuming that the reality as you know it or anything that you make is a basis based off of the perspective of reality. So if you're making this as an assumption, Happy, and me at the beginning of this debate, I said certain BSB standards I will not accept. So you trying to do this is rat.
So you've already conceded at the beginning of the argument. At the beginning of the debate, you
I've already
conceded.
agreed that
You
certain things I
literally
will not
conceded
do.
at the beginning of the debate then.
Stop talking over me. Then you just hear him say, "Stop talking over me." So let me finish talking.
Finish your
You a
point.
fucking frying pan,
Finish
you
your
big
point.
bitch.
Go ahead. We're all waiting for you. We're
Okay, so
waiting
let
for
me
you,
talk.
Kuros.
So let me
We're
talk.
waiting.
Stop talking.
Hurry up and tell your point then.
Get
We're
bitched,
waiting.
Get bitched, nigga. Get bitched. Like I said to you.
Share your point. Stop
Prove this to
cussing.
you.
Hurry
Hey,
up. We are all waiting for you to concede.
I'm waiting for you to shut up. Shut your mouth, bitch. Shut your mouth, nigga.
Hurry up and state your point. Stop
Like I
crying.
said,
Like your whole life story is the big problem right now.
You're still talking over me. So you're still talking over me. Okay. What I was saying to you is already proved to you that you can prove this in terms of a perspective of reality that we have, and everything is a subjective matter. You're already agreeing to come to this based off of an amount of assumptions or using deductive reasoning during the debate based off the line of evidence that we have. So me trying to equate the fact that anything that we do is subjective is fine. You trying to say that the words of VSB are words, you're trying to give them a trait of God or say something like that is just wrong, because I've already agreed at the beginning of the debate I don't agree for them to be objective. So something like that I don't necessarily have to agree to, Happy, because I've already showed you the connotation of I disagree with those things. The point that you're bringing up about the durability thing and the light speed thing, or just the speed scaling in general, I've already give you a contention that debunk what you were saying. So you cannot claim these things. Like I said, if I go off of this line of reasoning, you're just being dishonest. You're literally trying to rat. Like, but you can, like I said, go like moving on from this point. Now that you're getting slapped, okay, we can just go because I already have a speed blitz condition and I already have a durability negation. It doesn't matter to me. Go ahead.
Cool. So you conceded to me in the very beginning when you said that you agreed that you think that some of the rules don't apply. If that's the case, then you literally can't scale. You're not allowed to scale. You can't use the scaling in the Turing system. If everything is subjective and it's whatever you think it is, then that means you can't scale your character to be anything. Because then if I believe something to be subjectively correct, then you can't disprove what I say. Unless if you've got the rules and you're actually going to apply them. Because I can just say this: I don't agree with using the AP tiering system or the speed scaling system, so we can't scale speed off based on any of the feats.
Okay. So let me explain something to you. Okay. Do you know what dialectics are? Do you know what dialectics are?
But you already agreed to what I said. This is not relevant.
Yeah. Do you know what dialectics are?
So you have no disagreement with what I just said.
Are you gonna answer my question so I can prove to you why there's a disagreement?
What I said. You dodged my statement.
Okay, why are you scared to answer? Okay, why are you scared to answer the question?
Why are you scared to answer? Because you literally, I'm addressing the original point about subjective and objective.
Listen, I'm answering this question.
You dodged with your other points.
I'm answering this question.
An answer to my question.
Are you gonna let me respond? You're still talking over me. Jamal literally just said stop doing that. You're still doing it. You're literally being disingenuous.
You've done it the whole time.
My answer to your question, right, is this. So what I was asking you was, I said, do you know what dialectics are? So something that everybody could read, right? I posted in chat too as well. I posted in the scans. Here you go. So dialectics, right? In dialectics, right, you're already agreeing to come to a common conclusion of things like that. You saying that we're using like you're trying to use, like I said, you're giving a word of God trait, or you're trying to basically say that everything VSB is factually correct, and you're saying that if I do not, I can't post a link. Somebody post that for me, like just look up dialectic. Okay, thank you. Who wants me to send it?
Me, nigga.
Who? That's Jamal.
Yeah, slide it.
Can you DM me real quick so it pops up, because there's like a bunch of niggas sending me friend requests and DMs of stupid shit. A bunch of goons. All right, here you go. Basically, this is just referring to dialectics. We're already agreeing to come to a common conclusion of reality. Now you can try to take like the God.
Where'd you post this to?
I just sent it to Jamal. He's gonna post it in there soon.
Oh.
Okay. So you're already agreeing to think that you understand what subjectivity is in terms of these things. Okay. So obviously we're debating fictional characters in a fictional verse. So we're not obviously talking about like characters past epistemically or like past epistemic humility. But if we're agreeing to come to a conclusion within reality, me saying that I have a subjective matter of how to prove how strong characters were is fine. Which is why in the beginning of this debate, when we set up conditions, I already showed you that I would have contentions with certain things. You never said that you yourself had contentions with anything with VSB. You proposed it, and I said that I would accept it except for a few things that I disagree with. So me disagreeing with these exact examples, there's no problem with me doing so. I've already proved this to you. I've already proved that we're going down on a subjective, trivial matter. So you can go ahead and rebuttal. Otherwise, like I said, I don't really have anything else to argue. I can argue multiversal Luffy or like the correct way and show you how to
dialectics that you already expressed, are you familiar with Socrates and his writings? Because you understand that Plato's teacher, Socrates, he made a clear statement, which is what he said this. He said, there's one thing I know, that is I know nothing. And that's based off the fact of subjective and objective realities. He literally explains this in multiple different books that he's written, which is Plato. Because we don't know about Socrates if it wasn't for Plato. Because Plato is a student and he wrote down everything.
One second. You kind of just had a bunch of word vomit, but there's somebody spamming my DM, so I have to block them.
Oh, no, it's just there.
Yeah, let me put it on that. Niggas are so homosexual. Why the fuck are you spamming my DM like a weirdo?
So based off, if you're going to use Plato as your dialectic definition...
Before you continue, Happy, let me just face it real quick, bro. Turn off. There you go. These niggas want to be gay. Fucking weirdos. Alright. Basically, can you repeat that point that you said again?
So Socrates stated that he knew one thing, and that is he knew nothing. That was the teacher of Plato, and we only know of him because of Plato's writings. And if it wasn't for the writings of Plato, we wouldn't know. Oh fuck! Someone just did the same thing to me. The dude disturbed. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna block this dude. I'm getting spam now. Alright, that dude's blocked because that's fucking annoying. Bruh, that guy hard lagged me out. Yeah, so if Socrates stated that, which is Plato's teacher, that he knows nothing, this literally means that you can't prove anything. So based off, if you use that as your standard for measuring anything, you've established that you agree with proving nothing.
Okay, so no. Okay,
if you're gonna base your argument off subjectivity,
so
nothing.
Yeah, wait. Let me explain it to you. So you obviously don't understand IRL shit. Okay, so so that statement
I did philosophy at university.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything. That's a pure authority. Okay, like I said, basically,
that was
if
an homonym, you attacked my character without actually proof.
Okay, that's an pure authority because you're trying to justify working
ad hominem would cancel that out because you attacked my character. You said I don't know anything about in real life topics, but you lied. Okay, you just got disproved. You're being disingenuous. You've been consistently lying throughout this debate.
And ad hominem is if I'm not attacking your argument, I'm attacking your argument. So shut up and stop being a rat, nigga. You keep doing this talk over shit.
Is when you attack somebody instead of attacking their argument. You never attacked my argument. The first thing you said is, "Oh, I don't think you understand because you don't know in real life topics." But you haven't even studied formally. You don't even know who Socrates is.
Your grandma got in the titty, stupid ass with Africa, you fat ass nigga. You talking about carrying real bitch, fat ass nigga. Don't even talk about violence, you stupid ass, you big bitch. Stop talking over me.
If I'm being formal, so hard that you have to keep Spurg every time you lose. Stop checking over me.
Everybody just heard you being formal.
Icesta, just chill. Icesta, give him a second. Icesta, just let him say what he needs to say. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna stop getting loud then. If I violate his stupid ass, you fat ass
Because
Hawaiian bitch.
you're just not gonna look good at the end of the day, and he's just gonna appeal to the crowd. So just let him say what he needs to say.
We just get muted again.
Bro, you're still here.
All right. So if you think that everything is subjective and that based on no standard, because you haven't stated what standard you're actually going to measure characters' speed by or AP that you agree with, because you seem to ignore all of the standards that are in the versus battle wiki fandom, then you can't prove that durability negation is a thing. You can't prove that AP is a thing. You can't prove that speed scaling is a thing if it's subjective and it's whatever you decide to be right or wrong. You either agree to the standards that they put as rules, or you don't.
Okay, so you've already agreed and you're being disingenuous. In the debate, I've already told you that I wouldn't be accepting every standard for VSB. You stated this
You
before.
conceded the debate. That's what I said. That's my point.
So why are you talking over me? So why are you like trying to praise to be this saint, like you're some formal saint or something? But when I try to give an argument, you talk over me. That's why I start aping and spurging. So stop getting mad when somebody does it if you talk over
No,
me.
that's just an excuse, dude.
Okay. So like I said to you, if at the beginning of the debate before we set a standard or conditions that we make for the debate, right? And if I already say that something that I'll be doing is I'll be accepting SBA for things like obviously like win conditions and stuff, we have to come to win condition. But for things like versus battle, I've already said that there's certain things that I disagree with. So you attempting to say, okay, well if you disagree with everything, which is what you stated like 30 seconds ago. It's not what I was saying. I'm just saying certain standards I don't agree with. Certain tiers like a measurable speed or linear time or certain things that they discuss on them, I do agree with. But what you're saying, I do not. So if you're trying to make this claim that I've already dismissed it and it's just ad nauseum, I'm not going to keep refuting this argument. So do you have any other arguments that you want to get into? Because you've been off of this, like, you've been on this point for like 40 minutes. I'm not going to cap.
Yeah, so based on what you've established, you haven't proven that you're going to use any of the versus battle wiki,
Okay,
or
why does
you've
this
only
why does
proven
this
that
matter? I've
you're going to
already
use
answered it ad
subjective
nauseum, ad
choice.
nauseum.
You're
Okay,
going
it's ad
to
nauseum, happy.
literally,
It's ad nauseum. It's ad
you're
nauseum.
going
Why
to
are you
be
still on
picking,
ad nauseum?
cherry
The reason why
picking.
the reason
Your
why the
arguments
debate
are
is
based
so
off cherry
long.
picking, which
Hey,
is
the reason
your
why the
entire
debate is so
argument
long.
automatically
Okay,
fallacious
you've
based off
already
cherry
agreed
picking.
to.
You're
But you've already
picking
agreed.
what you think
You've
will
already
work.
agreed to that. You've already agreed to that.
I
You
know you
agreed to
already agreed. That means that
that.
you already,
No,
from the very
you
beginning of
agreed
this
as a
debate, you
prerequisite
established that
for
you're
the
going to be
debate.
cherry picking
No,
the facts.
and did you say
Based on
yes?
that,
Did you
that's
say yes?
fallacious in
Did you
itself.
say yes to
Do you
that? Did
know?
you say yes
Do you
to that?
want to go over the definition of what cherry
Did
picking
you say
is?
yes to that? Did you say
Are
yes to
you
that? Yes or
aware
no?
of what cherry picking is?
Okay, so happy. I'm already, like I said, I've already argued speed. I think my character blitzes. I think I
Okay, so you
negate
can
the
dodge the
ability
question
of
and
that.
then just
So if
move
you
on
have
then.
anything else that you want to argue, yes or
Don't.
no? Because I'm
I guess
fine
you
with any
concede that point
debate.
if you're
You
not going
can
to
go to
address it.
conclusion. You
You,
can go to
you you ignore
conclusion.
my question.
Hey, do you want to go to conclusions? Yes or no?
For this point,
Yeah.
for
Look, there you
this
go.
last
People are
point,
kind of saying
that
yes.
is that all
Okay.
you're going to bring
If
up?
everybody wants happy to
Wait,
go to
wait, wait.
conclusions,
Before he does,
just
just actually, yeah, just go ahead.
go to conclusions. Fuck. You've been on ad nauseum. God damn. Please, please, please. So they want you to go to conclusions. That's your fan base. So are you gonna go to conclusions?
For this particular point, you chose to cherry pick. You already conceded to that.
Oh my
Cherry picking is
god.
suppressing
Oh
evidence
my,
because you
oh
chose
my
to only pick the
god.
specific evidence that would support your claim. As a consequence, you literally conceded at the beginning by stating that you'd only pick or cherry pick specific particular facts to prove your case, but you didn't use the full truth. In other words, the full tiering system. You only used like a half truth. Literally cherry picking at the beginning of the debate, you've already conceded. If you're going to go with that morality argument, that it's subjective, so whatever you think is
That's not
correct,
even
then you
morality.
lost.
That's
You lost at the beginning.
humility.
You
You need
already
to
agreed to that in the very beginning. You don't even understand what subjective
humility is a
or
morality.
objective
Oh
what it
my
is.
Bro,
god.
Icesta, we have it on recording. Like, if you disagree with anything he's saying, then Renji will see in the recording. Just let him make his conclusion. Just go on mute. In fact.
So for that point, I think we can move on from there. Based off that, do you have? They had one more point that I was going to bring up for my scaling because I hadn't actually explained. But based off using the same logic that you have, using the same criteria that you stated that you didn't have to bother showing any feats of Luffy using the ore in order to actually harm anyone. So using the same standard, I'm going to state that Naruto has durability negation, and based off the speed scaling you shared, I already established that Naruto is significantly faster, and he already has durability negation. He's been proven to use this on different people, on events, using either Rasen Shuriken or Frog Kata. Are you aware of those panels, or do you need me to send those?
I don't. The Rasen Shuriken. It's their ability to have it. What else, bro?
And Frog Kata.
I'll say your character. Okay, I'll say your character can resistance already. I'll give you. I think I already speed blitz. You want that too?
So you don't think you do agree that he has durability negation, or you don't?
Okay, he has durability negation. Cool. What else? I just want to get a conclusions.
Okay, and then I already established that your character is massively hypersonic. Okay, well, if that's the case, you've accepted that he's got a durability negation. My character's faster. He's not only that. The last point was that you stated that with durability negation, it would negate all the way up to universal, or because you really didn't talk about if my character was universal or not. But I think you accepted that he was universal. Am I correct? You did accept that?
Oh my god! I said he could be universal. Sure, dude.
Sure. Okay. So, based off the fact that Luffy has never proven to have any feats close to universal, then he cannot negate up to universal level, and that's just using both feat logic. That's also using the
That's
battle
not
wiki tiering system,
this is the
because
only
durability negation, based off
This
the
is the only.
definition I established already, has to be proven against strong opponents. But you never had any contention, I think, with that point.
Okay. So let me. Okay. So
So
this is the only thing that I'll counter. This is all I'm gonna say for like. I don't need to counter anything else. I already have a speed win con. For this durability negation point, I already explained why in the original sentence for the definition, it's already saying that it's referring to a target. Everything else is just an extrapolation or then just giving examples or things that could be taken to be it. But it just says that you have to hit a target. You don't have to use it on a strong opponent for it to be durability negation. It's like somebody not being able to punch through a wall, but then they touch the wall and then the wall explodes from the inside. You're going to be like, well, they didn't use that on a
it
person, so they don't
specifies
have
what target
durability.
is. It says
Okay,
in
no, it doesn't.
particular
Okay,
opponents.
I've already explained. I already explained why it gives extrapolation. That's an extrapolation on the original definition. It's not actual the definition that you're using. But based on going off this basis, right, you would have to prove that the internal organs of a person can take those amount of attacks because we know that certain characters, right, stuff like your the inside of your body, your intestines, just are massively weaker. This would also you could argue this is also supported by ninjas in Naruto or characters in Naruto when they're able to be like stabbed or to be able to be injured off guard. Because if you're off guard, then obviously your durability isn't up, right? But that means that you're able to pierce through somebody's organs with attacks that don't even have to scale to them. So then you're able to attack people with country level attacks or even weaker attacks in Naruto if they're off guard, which means that their internal organs aren't that
That's a
strong.
wide assumption because first of all, in
Yes.
the full context of the definition, it
It
says
being
target being specifically an opponent. You haven't shown
okay.
one example of where Luffy's
It
actually
doesn't.
targeted
It
an
doesn't.
opponent.
Okay. You
It
go. Okay.
does.
So
In
listen.
particular,
I'll
in
read it.
a
I'll read it.
causing serious damage to a very strong
Okay.
opponent.
Okay. So are you done? I'll read it again one more time to you, just
And
for the
then,
recording.
okay, so what was the
Wait,
picture examples they
wait,
gave? Did
wait,
they
wait.
give targets?
Okay,
Did
wait.
they show
Are you
targets
gonna let me talk?
of
You gonna let
trees
me
and
talk?
rocks?
Are you
No,
gonna let
they
me talk?
used the example of the Flash pulling
So,
out someone's
okay, so
brain. Show me where Luffy punched
Okay,
somebody's brain out.
wait. Happy, just repeat. Wait. Just so that like Icesta didn't miss anything. He said, Happy, just repeat what you said just now, please, for him, so that Icesta can address it. Icesta, just address everything he has to say. It's not deep. Go ahead, Happy.
I already addressed this point before, which is what I used the examples
Okay,
that
so if you
you
addressed it
shared to
before,
explain.
Sorry, go ahead.
They used the pictures of the Flash, and they gave clear examples of how to prove that this character has durability negation. So they used the example of pulling out somebody's brain from the inside, like he phased straight through using the Flash, and they said that you had to have an example like that in order to prove that he has durability negation. So I asked him to prove or show me a panel where Luffy's doing a similar feat, that he actually is attacking internal organs, that he's pulling out brains, that he's attacking hearts, that he's doing something like that. Kuros has not shared that.
Okay, Icesta,
So
what's your?
that's what I already
Okay.
addressed.
Wait, didn't you guys leave this point to the judge?
Yes, we already left it.
Okay,
So I'm not sure
so
what
just
more you
leave
want.
it to Renji then, because like
Who
this.
did? Okay, so like there's nothing else to go over. It says the ability that allows users to damage the target regardless of its durability. I've already explained why you can use this on characters that are way stronger than you, and I've already explained why Luffy can combust hold them from the inside. So I have no reason to like just continue on this point. I've already argued it. So do you have anything else? Everybody wants you to go to conclusions, dude. Like you're
We can go to
boring to me,
conclusions.
I'm be honest. Okay. So do you want to go?
Same here.
Go ahead and start. Go ahead.
All right. So we got several arguments. The first is that you said based on subjective choice that you chose to use some standards of the battle wiki as a model or a set of rules that you're going to follow, and then you also chose not to follow some of them. Because of that, you already accepted that it's possible that AP and speed scaling and pretty much anything in the tiering system itself could be flawed. And if that's the case, you can't prove that your character has a speed, has an AP, because you don't agree with the actual tiering system itself or the way that the rules are set. So if you don't agree with the rules, or if you said that, if you use those arguments that durability negation is not defined like that because I don't agree with that, or you don't agree with the definition of light speed from the same tiering system, or you don't agree with any certain definitions, then you're not applying the rules in its full entire like wholeness. Instead, you're cherry picking. So that's a fallacious argument. You're only picking what will suit your narrative. So you can either use the rules in their complete wholeness, or you can cherry pick, which is completely fallacious. So based off that objective argument that you argued with to start with, you would have conceded based on the fact that you can't scale anyone, because I can literally, from my own subjective perspective, state that your character has no AP or speed, and you can't contend that unless if we're going to agree on a set of rules or a measuring stick, like the versus Battle Wiki tiering system, that we can actually measure our characters from. So any of those, like, oh, I don't agree with light speed arguments, or any of the definitions for like negation or something like that, if you don't believe in them, don't agree with them, and you can't just cherry pick and pick which ones you don't. You have to pick the entire tiering system. So this debate would have been moot from the beginning. And then secondly, in the speed scaling, most of your scaling was based off assumptions. I proved with feats that he'd already been beaten by people that had nothing but thunder and lightning. And you stated yourself that unless stated otherwise, that it would be disproven to be that particular thing, then that would mean that this particular character or this statement is exactly what it said. So that means if Kaido uses the Thunder Bagua, that Luffy got negged. He got one-shotted by a thunder attack. And I was nice enough to even say, let's highball this to lightning speed. So we established that he was defeated, even in his prime, in the latest part of the manga, by a lightning attack or a thunder attack, however you want to put it. Would establish his speed as opposed to all your multipliers, which I think you agreed on as well for Burndy World, scaling to whatever Luffy was. And I already established that the attack itself was not light. In fact, it was air. and you had to prove that it was light according to the standards, but you didn't prove that it was made up of photons or light. Therefore, you prove that it's just air. And if it's just air, then it has a different speed to light. It's not as stated in the standard of criterion for proving that it's a light attack, that it has to have the properties of light, like a photon or light. And from that argument, plus the pad cannon, and the fact that the pacifistas were stated to be a fake of Kuma, meaning that even the lasers that were being shot were weaker, as established by Luffy. He said that Kuma himself dodges more, meaning that Kuma is superior to the fake Kizaru, or in other words, the fake versions of him. So the lasers that are shot from those pacifistas would not be light speed either. Including if we apply the same criterion, or the measurement that we agreed on, which is the Versal Battle Wiki, they would not have established that he's light speed pre-time skip. And anything, the only thing that we can establish is that he's still massively hypersonic, so he's lightning speed. But then I scaled Naruto clearly, and I showed a feat of him blocking a Rasengan, and you had no contention with him being faster than light. Just from that. And then your debunk to the massively faster than light feat in the novel that I shared was that it was based off assumptions. So I don't think you even debunked the massively faster than light speed calc that I shared. You just said it was like an assumption. So based off what I actually proved and established, I established that, and you agreed that Naruto not only has durability negation, he also is massively faster than light, and that at one point I actually got you to agree that he was universal, or that he could be universal. So on those alone, the fact that you established that Luffy was only massively hypersonic lightning speed, and you weren't actually able to prove that he could use durability negation properly, whereas my character does, then Naruto scales higher.
Are you done, Cyber? Oh my
Listen,
god!
Cyber would have went like 12 hours in that closing statement.
Are you?
We would
Wait,
age and die.
Wait, Ace, Happy, are you done with your conclusion before I speak?
Yeah.
God damn.
Okay, just make your conclusion quick. Jesus Christ.
All right. Okay. So, multiply your argument. I think I won. Basically, you try to argue that the amount, the way that I was coming to the conclusion about me using the multipliers was incorrect because you were trying to say that you cannot multiply like that. I gave him a direct distinction, and I gave him the connotation based off the statement that came from the Versus Battle Wiki, and I was able to justify it with the premise that I presented. Going off of the speed point with Burndy World, he already agreed that it was 100 times multiplier. He said that he knew the scan with Gear Second as well being a 5 times multiplier, and he agreed to the speed point. We'll move it to the laser point that he brought up. It was retarded because he tried it. He claims to know One Piece, but he's being disingenuous. He posted a scan of pre-time skip of Luffy fighting one of the PXs, and he beat that PX, and the statement is much that he's not the same as Kuma. But during the debate, he tried to say that it's not the same as Kizaru. I asked him to prove that PX can shoot a light beam, and he's saying that it's in reference to Kizaru, and he didn't. And I told him that it was in reference to the Kuma statement. So he never proved this, and I told him that it was the same one. It's not the same thing from post time skip. So I won the speed point. AP, I won with durability negation. I proved to him that my character could use this, and I didn't agree to standards at the beginning of the debate. I said certain ones I had contention with, so he already agreed to go down that line of conclusions. So him saying that is just disingenuous, and he's riding. And then going off of durability, scaled it to I think I won the planetary the star level shit with Whitebeard or whatever character. Yeah, just blitzes and one shots with durability negation. Yeah, and he's way faster. So I bare minimum I debunked his speed counts and shit. So I won. There you go.
Mook, end the recording.